Hello, we're back again on Voice of Ocala. Buddy Martin here. Glad to be with you today. I think our microphone's working, JJ. I don't know. Is it? On the
Yeah, we're all good.
We're all good? Oh, okay. Wow. Microphone's working? Are the phones working yet?
That is yet to be decided.
All right. Well, we're 1 for 2 so far today. That's a good start to the week. I hope you all had a good weekend. I certainly did. Had a chance to visit with friends and also go see an old friend of mine who was ill in Orlando and watched a lot of football and that kind of thing. So to me, it's a perfect weekend. I didn't get a chance to go downtown. I'm sure the FAFO show was really good. I'm sorry that I missed it. I had company from out of town, but I hear good reports about it. I understand they had a really good charity event at Eaton's Beach yesterday. Eaton's Beach Bar and Grill is scheduled to open, I think, Wednesday. Randy Quintus and the gang invited to go to that charity event. Also couldn't make that. So there's not much you can do wrong outside, guys, this time of year, huh? How was your weekend?
Buddy, I had a great weekend. I was went over to the pumpkin run, the Ocala pumpkin run, car show yesterday. Had a great time out there. Did take in FAFO downtown yesterday for a little bit.
Good. You give us a report on that.
And then went and watched football all day at a local eatery here in town. So not real happy with the outcome of the 425 Falcons game, though. Really didn't like that game.
Well, JJ's happy, but he dodged a bullet. Your Miami team looking ahead perhaps to Florida State this weekend, JJ.
Which I'm looking ahead to. I will be there, but I am not looking ahead thinking it's going to be anything other than just a complete debacle. I think Florida State's probably going to own Miami this weekend. But, it's a rivalry game. Got to throw it out the window.
22.5-point favorite. Wow.
I like Miami plus 22.5, though. That's a lot.
It's a lot of points for
a top
game.
10 team.
I just don't know this team, this Florida State team. I don't even know how good they are. They could have turned it off at halftime. Instead, they just laid down, let them score points.
Could have turned it off after the first quarter.
Sure, first quarter, right? Exactly. But so it's going to be a good football week, Florida Georgia week. Although not at what it usually is. It's still Florida Georgia. You guys are both bailing on me this week for time, aren't you?
I will be.
Yeah. Both of you.
I will not be here Friday. I'll be back for the football game Friday night, Vanguard Forest, but I will not be here for the show Friday. I'll be in St. Augustine at Shanna, a friend of mine's wedding, who is also the general manager of Blue Highway here in town. So I'm going to her wedding Friday.
Well, and that's the case. I'm going to bail on you in Thanksgiving week. So there you go. That's just how it's going to happen.
Nice.
So I'll be headed up to see.
I get a day. He gets a
game.
week.
Well, the boss has to have some privileges,
That's
right?
why it says Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin.
Sometime. Well, it's a good day to talk about baseball today. Crazy World Series game of the weekend. The whole thing about obstruction, which we can talk about in the Sports Hour. I thought it was the right call myself personally. It's a controversial one, but a couple of controversial calls. Of course, last night the Red Sox come back and win 4-2, and now last game in St. Louis, right? So then they head up tonight to if the Cardinals win, they head up to Boston. So series is. It's good now. About Game 5 is when it starts getting really good. So we'll talk about that later on. Speaking of baseball, are we ready for some baseball around here? Had a good conversation with a local person today who asked to remain anonymous about the baseball situation. We're going to see it tomorrow. It's rolled out tomorrow with the workshop of the city council. And we'll check in tomorrow afternoon and talk about that. We'll get to see the presentation. I didn't have a look at it, but I have some conversation with somebody who's seen it. And there's some interesting particulars like where is the park going to be, and how many acres, and how much is it going to cost, all that sort of stuff. Questions that I'm sure Matt Brower will answer. And if he doesn't, well, Wednesday we'll have him on. Matt Brower will be here on Wednesday with Mark Mondell, also the city. He runs the things like this. And Tony Bruno of the Yankees will be our guest. So Wednesday we'll talk more baseball. Meanwhile, it's time today to talk about baseball. And somebody who's sort of surfaced as a spokesperson on behalf of an advocate is our friend who's been on this program many times, Allison Campbell, on a cover of a recent magazine about her and her family, loves minor league baseball. I've asked Allison to drop by today and get her views on this from a consumer perspective. And, of course, she's told her story several times about why she loves minor league baseball. So we'll get a chance to talk about that. Also this week, we'll be talking, and we have not scheduled the interview, but he said he would. Billy Donovan will be on the program this week. We'll check in with Billy. His season starts soon. Played a scrimmage game with Georgia Tech last Saturday. Of course, he was here in town last week. And speaking of being in town, John Gruden's interview, I re-listened to it today, and there's some funny stuff in there, and we were lucky enough to get the soundtrack from Brendan Martin, and we've got the best of the bites. When Gruden visited Friday, he visited the Gateway Bank and Tom Ingram's and Ron Zook's show there, to raise money for Interfaith. He was very entertaining. It's about a 25-minute conversation. We got the best bites, and we'll play those for you, too. All that happened, too. Also, you guys are going to be assistants. I want you to put your scrubs on and stuff. We're going to be Dr. Buddy's assistant. You're going to help us out today. You're going to actually be the panel. We're going to talk about an issue with a man who's a senior who has two women in his life. One of them is his ex-wife, and one of them is a woman he was engaged to. Which way to go? And this is I'll give you a fictitious name of a real case, and I'll let you help me decide what's best for my friend Bob. And not his real name. And so you'll be Dr. Buddy Associates. You guys up for that today?
Yes.
I think I got a good answer.
You got a good answer? I know what you're going to say. Keep them both.
No,
what you say.
It's absolutely not what I'm going to say.
I have to give you all the facts of the case. I know a little bit about it. And I think when you hear the story, you'll be interested about the nuances of this thing and which way to go. Because at this point in time, once you get to the back nine of life and you're made the turn, you're thinking, I don't want to spend the rest of my life alone. Well, this gentleman is facing that possibilities, but he has two women who have been in and out of his life, and now one wants to come back into his life, and he's got to decide if he wants to do this or not. So we're going to get him over the hump a little bit. We'll talk about that on Dr. Buddy today. Sports, we'll break down the BCS standings, talk about the games that just played this weekend. Terrific football game Saturday night. South Carolina looking horrible for three quarters, coming back to knock off the undefeated Missouri, number 5 ranked Missouri Tigers. And boy, did Connor Shaw play a football game. I got a lot of respect for that kid. Tough. We'll talk about that. Duke upsets Virginia Tech. And as I said, Miami squeaks out a win and will be undefeated going to the game against the Seminoles. So that's all in sports coming up. So stay tuned to the program. Call the Voice of Ocala on a beautiful Monday, right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. This is Ocala's Chief of Police, Greg Graham, answering one caller's question.
How often are the officers required to go to the firing range to keep their shooting skills up to par?
Great question. By FDLE rules, they're supposed to go once a year. We actually do, the police department does 2 qualifications a year, and then throughout the year we have practice days and sessions with them. But I tell you, the problem that we're having a difficult time getting ammo or enough ammo to have those practice days. But we do a minimum of 2 qualifications a year.
That reprise of Ask the Cops was proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. Be sure to tune in to Ask the Cops the second and fourth Friday of every month during the 4 o'clock hour on the Voice of Ocala. Dr. Seaborn Hunt, a board-certified ophthalmologist in Ocala. There's no referral needed for an appointment. Call 873-7200, offering medical services for glaucoma management, including laser surgery to help lower your eye pressure and potentially reduce your dependency on eye drops. He also evaluates and treats diabetic retinopathy, one of the leading causes of blindness, with advanced imaging and laser procedure to help prevent vision loss. Dr. Hunt's office accepts most insurance and files claims for you. Call Dr. Hunt at 873-7200. That's 873-7200.
Hurricane season is upon us. WOCA and Sunbelt Rentals wants you to be prepared. Sunbelt Rentals has the equipment to help, like air nailers, aerial lifts, chainsaws, chippers, and stump grinders. They have light towers, skid steer loaders, and generators, just to name a few. Sometimes you might need a little help cleaning up afterwards. Sunbelt has the equipment you need, like dehumidifiers, pumps, sewer snakes, wet dry vacs, floor dryers, carpet equipment, and more. And right now is the time to get it done, with 2 special offers just for WOCA listeners. If you rent Friday after 3 p.m. and return it Monday before 9 a.m., you will only be charged for 1 day. Plus, just by mentioning WOCA, you get 25% off your rental. You heard right, not 5 or 10, but 25% off your rental just by mentioning that you heard it here on WOCA. But you better hurry, this is a limited time offer. Visit Sunbelt today on Highway 27, just half-mile east of I-75. Give them a call at 369-9101 or visit them on the web, sunbelt.com.
For illnesses and minor injuries, visit Family Care Specialists Urgent Care offices with 2 convenient locations. Our North Ocala office is at 1111 Northeast 25th Avenue, and our Bellevue office is at 4850 Southeast 110th Street, right next to Walgreens. The medical team at Urgent Care can also handle well child and well adult exams, school and work physicals, immunizations, laboratory services, EKGs, and x-rays. Most insurances are accepted. Walk-ins are welcome. Family Care Specialist Urgent Care for illnesses and minor injuries.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit habitatocala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, building homes, building hope, building community.
This is Tom Schmitz live in the WOCA studios with this news break brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. Gas prices dropped last week, and now the current national average is $3.29, the lowest daily average so far this month. The national average price of regular unleaded gas fell about 6 cents from last week, according to AAA. Florida's average is $3.28. The average in Ocala is $3.28, down from $3.33 last week, according to the website gasbuddy.com. This news break was brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. Join Angie weekly as she joins Buddy for her Biz Buzz or Good Neighbors Award.
Got a pocket full of money and a liquor bottle, gonna drink away the dream. Don't really wanna leave, sure I can't stay. I gotta get on that riverboat and gamble my life away. Makes me fly like an eagle.
All right, coming up at 3:30, Allison Campbell will have some bites from Brad Rogers, from the editorial page editor from the Star Banner, talking about baseball. And, of course, this is the week that the city rolls out baseball workshop tomorrow. And then we'll have all the big shots on here on Wednesday to talk about minor league baseball, the Yankee Farm Club possibly coming. And apparently they've reached some kind of agreement between the city and the Yankees. I say apparently, I don't know any details. But that now has to go forward to the county commission to see if they're willing to put it on the ballot for us to vote on a special sales tax, and which, by the way, not all of which would go to the project, but certainly some of it would. And sales tax, by the way, is not paid just by people visiting our town. There's a myth there that we won't pay it. We will pay some of that sales tax, but it's a very common thing to do, to have a special designated one-penny sales tax. I'm a little bit shocked that I'm told that the county might not put it on a special election, might not put it up for vote, which I think would be an absolute disaster and would be a heresy if they wouldn't put it up to the public. And I don't know. I know we're all talking about money and about how no one likes the T words, they say. Taxes, this is a different kind of tax. It's a 1 cent sales tax, which would generate a lot of money for our community. And they're so scared of their shadows right now, as all public officials are. It isn't like you're going to levy a new tax on your house or whatever. this is a tax that we'd all share in. 1 penny would raise lots of money. And if it can be proven, this is what I want to see, that this particular facility for baseball would, in fact,
generate money.
Be an economic driver. And they're talking now, bigger than I even realized, this being a large acreage with lots of facilities on it that could accommodate all kinds of sports, including soccer, including other minor league baseball, kids baseball, volleyball, et cetera, that it would, but you could have tournaments here.
They're talking about bringing the state JUCO baseball tournament here if they had that park. You could bring they go to Rotary with the World Series parks and everything. You could bring stuff like that.
Actually, they're talking about bringing college baseball teams.
Baseball teams
play a game here and there. Right. Florida, Tallahassee, and FSU. These teams could come here and play each other, meet halfway. So
why not? They go to Jacksonville every year.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see. I'm anxious to see what they roll out tomorrow and what they talk about and have the details as we know them so far. It's a step-by-step process, as we know. So we'll have to see what's next with the city, but looking forward to that, heading tomorrow and checking that out.
You want to go real quick on the stories I'm covering?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm following, buddy. How often do you go through school zones?
A lot. Probably once, twice a week at least.
Well, officials last week said that the city of Ocala wrote more speeding tickets in school zones than any other city in the local area except for Bellevue. And they say it's elderly people who aren't aware of the school times, or parents who are actually rushing to or from the school to get their kids. And last week they went out and did some things, and they saw in a 2-hour time period about 8 speeders at 6 different school zones. So I'm following that to see just what they're going to do. The city's cracking down on it. Here's a story. It's a sports story, but it's also a national story. The Sandusky victims, if you remember Jerry Sandusky, the monster that molested all those children at Penn State University, $59.7 million the university is going to pay out to 26 victims. So I'm following that story.
Average is $1 million a piece, about I'm sure there'll be some will get more and some will get less, but this comes out to 59 something. There were 60 victims, right?
No, 26 victims is it.
Oh, 26 victims. It's
going to be about $2 million a piece on average.
Oh, okay, because I read something that said $59 million for 60. Okay,
yeah,
that's $2 million. Okay,
26 settlements.
Whatever it is, it's not enough.
23 are fully signed and 3 are agreed in principle.
Okay, all right. I want to say a get well soon to Kerry McDonald. Everybody knows Kerry, former basketball coach, president of Florida Athletic Coaches Association, longtime program chairman for the quarterback club, and he he fell and broke his femur.
Ouch.
He's repairing. He had surgery and he's recovering in the New Life Health Center of Ocala next several weeks at least. And I just want to send our best wishes and get well soon to Kerry McDonald. Kerry's the program chair, as I said, for the quarterback club. Tomorrow night, you're the guy who you like to be your father is going to be speaking, and you're going to go. I understand.
I have been invited to go tomorrow night. And,
Wes Wheeler told me that when he invited me to come introduce David Lamb.
Yeah, Wes Wheeler said he invited me, and I said, "Did you tell Buddy that I'll be coming to see my dad?"
Yeah, he told me. He did, and so David will be. I talked to David today. David's going to try to, if we're not booked up Wednesday, which we could be because we're scheduled for Tony Barnhart and possibly Billy Donovan. We're going to have David on the show right before we close the show, and then we'll be out there to introduce.
Is he going to be in studio?
No, he's going to just. We don't. Well, no, he's just going to call. I asked him to call on his way in, so he's going to call his way here. So he was here a couple of years ago, but now he's just going to call.
He was in studio a year ago?
2 years, I believe it was, because we were at the other studio. And
I think it was the last year about this time.
Oh, was it? Okay, I was thinking it was 2. All right, David Lamb was here anyway, for sure. So he'll be on the air with us on Wednesday night. I want to say. That over the weekend I made a determination. There are 2 shows of mine in television for me, and I know nobody's going to agree with this. I love the writing. I love the plots and writing. You know that. You can tell the really quality
writing. And last night the plot and writing was great.
Was one of them. And there's 2 shows that stand out. One of them is the Friday night show Blue Bloods, which was extraordinary this past Friday.
It was extraordinary.
Really good. And then last night's show, might have been the all-time best Good Wife. It was unbelievable. The tension, the scene, the drama, it was loaded
When
with
he
drama.
dumped her desk in the floor,
Yeah, and
I thought he was going to hit her.
And the new guy I like is the guy coming on is I like Peter. Now the new governor, I loved his line when they talked to him about, but you can't do that, Peter. You're the governor. He said, first and foremost, I'm a husband.
Exactly.
So anyway, it was high drama. If you didn't see it, I hope I didn't ruin it for you. But last night's was the big meltdown when they found out the law firm was splitting up, going different directions.
And if
Alicia was taking, Carrie were taking some of the customers, and boy, it hit the fan last night with Will and Diane, who's really in trouble now because she may lose her judgeship.
And if it's any indication, that little highlight reel they showed of upcoming things in this season, right after the show, it's going to get sticky.
It's going to get rough. JJ has no idea what we're talking about now. He thinks just a couple of old codgers talking about some TV show he could care less about, but it's good.
Best television show on TV.
It's good. It's a good one. Downton Abbey's not too far behind, by the way. We'll won't be up and won't be have that till January sometime.
But Blue Bloods was amazing Friday night.
Bubba was really, and they put some thought into that. And when you can write about something of these subjects, and it was all based around faith.
Right.
And how people have problems with, their faith gets weak, and how it's tested, and the difficulty you go through in life. And I thought, and everybody was in some way pulled into that story, that theme,
right.
All the family members. And the way you brought it all together at the end, I thought was terrific. Really
talking to the kids at the end.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, good stuff. So, a little good TV now. You know what? Compared to some of the garbage on TV right now, which is there's a lot of it out there, I just want to say I thought it was really, really good stuff.
Well, you haven't known this, but for the last month, I've been putting your hypothesis to the test.
Okay.
And I've literally, because I watch CSI, and I watch CSI, I watch NCIS, and I watch NCIS Los Angeles, and I watch Castle. I watch all kind of the cop drama shows and everything. They're averaging about 43 seconds a show before the dead body shows up.
Yeah. And did you see one, by the way, in Blue Bloods?
No.
No, you didn't see one. Did you see one in Good Wife?
Yes, it's called the law firm.
Yeah. So just goes to show you don't have to have a dead body, in the first 5 minutes.
Two
of the
best
show.
shows on television.
And
doesn't
nobody
have a dead body.
Yeah. So anyway, it's I just thought it was quite good. I got some good news for you guys. We're going to go to break after this because we got Allison on her way in here. It's a new, improved, shorter fake or factoids. Okay? It's a new one, and it's a new rule. It's going to be shorter. It's only going to be 5 questions, 5 comments, and then you guys get to either, if you don't want to answer one of them, you can pass on one, or if you don't pass on that one and you go through, you can miss one and ask for the mulligan. You got it? In other words, there'll be 5. Let's say, Tom, you miss a question. You only miss one. You say, okay, you can save your mulligan to the end and take it. Take your mulligan. And then if you say, I don't like the question, I'm going to pass on this one, you use your mulligan then. So you get an extra question to be used either way. And then, you get extra credit for if you get it right.
You changing the rules on this?
Yeah, absolutely I am.
I like it better with just 5.
Yeah, it's easier for you guys. You guys can't concentrate on 10, so.
Correct.
You think and I have to work my staff twice as hard to get the 10 questions.
Well, my question is your staff going, because it's a smaller amount of questions, or your staff going to be much more diligent in making sure they're correct?
Actually, the truth of the matter is that there are 7, and not, just so you know, and not only 3 less. So they're all correct. They're all good. They're about as good as some trivia people. When you can count on them.
Right.
The veracity of
but they're
issue,
not as good as one trivia guy I know. Oh yeah, me. That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
Weak joke.
Is that what you think? That's what you think? That's fine.
I'm the best trivia guy I know.
Okay.
Just ask me.
Now, what I like about it is your humility, too. That goes
Just
with it,
ask
which
me.
is good.
I'm the best that there is at it. Just ask me.
So is this the time you're going to put a plug in for the trivia stuff? Or you just use that time?
Oh, tonight at Mojo's Grill, 7 o'clock,
There you
trivia.
Go. There you go. All right. We've reached a low point. Let's take a break. We'll be back. Allison Campbell joins us. She's the baseball lady on the cover of a recent issue of a magazine called Neighbors with her family. She's a real hardcore baseball fan. We'll get her take about what's going on this week and whether or not she's going to attend, which I'm sure she will, because I think she's on the mayor's committee for baseball. So we'll take a break, return to the Voice of Ocala after this timeout on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Having the motivation and making the commitment to quit smoking is a great first step towards becoming smoke-free. However, anyone who's tried to quit smoking knows how challenging it can be. Having the determination to quit may not be enough. You may need some help. If you're ready to quit smoking and are between the ages of 18 and 75, currently smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day, and can commit to participating for 24 weeks, you may be interested in a research study which is being conducted to evaluate the use of investigational drugs to see if they can aid individuals in their quest to quit smoking. To help you quit, smoking cessation counseling and all study-related medical care will be provided at no extra cost. You may also be reimbursed for your travel time. To receive more information about this study, how you can participate, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala, 352-629-5800.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Ugh, what wrong?
Ugh, need wood for fire.
Ugh, I go get. Ugh, I got wood for fire.
Ugh, what takes so long?
Had to use restroom. Someone not refill toilet paper.
Ugh, my bad. You wash hands?
Ugh, of course. Ugh, what caveman you take me for?
You know, Dan, people who save money by switching to Mike Scott Plumbing sure are happy.
Well, Brittany, how happy are they?
Happier than a caveman with indoor plumbing.
Yep. Get happy. Get Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it. 237-2888.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
I'll go back to Dickie Betts. I love that song, Rambo Man. In the studio with us, our friend Allison Campbell, also known as the baseball maven. She's joins us once again, and this is the week we've been waiting for Phase 1, Allison. And welcome back to the show, and welcome back after you had a great weekend last weekend in Knoxville, watching your Vols beat South Carolina.
It was a wonderful game.
Luckily,
to take
you weren't at last weekend's game. So.
That's correct. It's been a long time since I think we've stayed through the end of an entire game. I know that sounds really funny, but Knoxville's about an hour and a half from my parents' house, so we always try and beat the traffic. When you're facing traffic with 100,000 people, you try to beat the traffic. But we stayed till the very end. It was a fabulous game. Big win for Tennessee.
You can thank Spurrier a little bit for that. He kind of helped you with that one.
Yeah, he did. He did. But it
wasting the timeout, says he did down there.
Yes, he did. We can blame a lot on a lot, but I'll say that it was a signature win for Butch Jones, and we're very, very happy about it. Of course, then we faced Alabama and we're facing Missouri, and it's one of the toughest schedules in at least SEC history, if not BCS history.
Let's see. We were talking about this earlier that Florida was ranked top 10. Then I'm pretty sure
Oregon was number 2.
Oregon was
still
number
is,
2, and you lost to them.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama's number 1. Who else? You got
Missouri
coming up. Auburn's ranked.
South
11.
Carolina was number 11 when we beat them.
So you've got it's a brutal schedule.
It is a brutal schedule.
If Butch Jones just has enough bodies left to finish the season, so.
Well, and we were looking at the lineup this past week. We have a lot of true freshmen that are starting, and they had to put in a true freshman quarterback this weekend. They're trying to redshirt him, had to pull his red shirt this weekend. But what's scary, though we're excited about those position players going to be here for a long time, if you look at their line, offensive and defensive line, you got a lot of veterans on those lines. So got a lot of holes to fill, even still yet.
But offensive line leaves, you're going to have because you got a good one in Tennessee, and there they go. It's going to be tough. That's tough because there's 5 spots in there you got to fill.
Yes.
And you really need to have about 12 to 13 offensive linemen at least, sometimes more, just to have a full complement. And they're hard to get. Big 300-pound dancing bears, as I call them. They're not easy to find. So, I'm surprised you didn't wind up being on a sports talk show someplace full time. As much as you love sports and you watch ESPN every day and you follow it.
You know what's so funny? You said that when we were driving back from Tennessee and we're listening to obviously the Knoxville News Radio whenever we're coming back. There is honestly a sports show in Knoxville named the Allison and Andy Show.
Really?
I don't think they're a husband and wife, but my parents have been saying, you and Andy need to do a show.
How about that?
It would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course, Andy been in sports. He's been in baseball, and he's going to be excited about this.
Yeah, definitely. I know that the mayor called me and asked me to be there, but I said, Andy, you need to be there just as much as me.
Yeah.
We may get up and have our own separate comments about for the city council meeting tomorrow.
Let's talk about it. The workshop is at 11 o'clock, and then I guess they have the meeting afterwards, so 11:30, whatever the time it starts, something like that. I'll be there. And you said to me earlier when you walked in, is this thing a done deal the way you talked about it? And I said, no, I'm sorry. I probably said it the wrong way. As I understand it, in my limited knowledge, and that's what it is that the city has now come up with a plan. They've got they've showed it to a few people already. They're rolling it out in a workshop to show people what it would look like, what the proposal would be, where the property is, et cetera, if the sales tax proposal. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, they've got some kind of gentleman's agreement. I don't know what it is with the Yankees. But on Wednesday, I'll find out because Tony Bruno of the Yankees, along with Matt Brower and Mark Mondell, will be here on the show.
Great.
So we'll have a little more information. I'll be talking about baseball, the Ocala Yankees. And so what do you know about it so far, Allison? And I know that we've had this discussion a few times on the show. What do you know about it? What do you think the next step is, and what do you want to see happen tomorrow?
Well, I know probably just about as much as you do. I mean, I haven't heard much more than what you have. I know that the mayor called me this week off of a recommendation from you to see that I would be there for the workshop. Just knowing my minor league baseball experience and growing up in the way that I did with minor league baseball and my husband as well. I'm really hoping that tomorrow that the city council, first of all, says, let's move forward with the next step, which I assume is taking it before the county commission. I mean, we're going to have to, there's a lot of work I know that needs to be done. And when I was talking to Mayor Kent Gwynn about it. I said, here are some things that I would think needs to be done. And he said, yeah, we're a lot has already been done over the past 2.5 years. A lot still needs to be done. And the way I understand it, that it's possible that they may do a special election in March. But then what you were saying is they may not decide to do a special election. So there's still a lot hanging out there. I'm really hoping that tomorrow, it'd be nice if the county commission would even take notice of what's happening at the city council tomorrow, because I think a lot of the work obviously has been done by the city already. So there's not a lot of background that might even need to be done. I mean, it could just be handed to the county on a silver platter and say, look, all you have to do is say, let the people vote and let the people do with their money what they would like to have done. And I hope that there's a lot of conversation and a lot of dialogue, and that people like me and you can be there and share as citizens of this community to say, minor league baseball would be huge for our community. It would be a wonderful economic driver. It'd be a wonderful community opportunity for so many, and it just really would be kind of that what's the word I'm looking for? Just it would be an energizer, if nothing else, and it would be putting everybody on a level playing field. One thing that I love about minor league baseball is that you will see young and old, every race, nationality, creed, religion, everybody can get together for a common goal. It's an inexpensive entertainment option. It's a great family entertainment. And I know that you know my story, but we did have season tickets growing up in Tennessee. It was 45 minutes from my hometown. But
you had big time baseball. Didn't you have Class AA or something?
We had AA baseball.
Yeah,
we did. But we had 4 season tickets, and that was myself, my parents, and my grandfather. So 3 generations had season tickets for most of my childhood, 45 minutes away from my hometown. So what would that mean for people in the Villages, or people in Gainesville, or people in Citrus County, not just Ocala and Marion County? I mean, this is going to be a driver for so many around. It would be the closest venue. We go to Daytona, whenever we go to the Daytona Cubs games. I mean, that's a single A affiliate. I love everything about minor league baseball, and I can go on and on about it, but I think that it would be a huge economic impact for our community, and just a great entertainment option, a great family entertainment, and it would bring generations together, and I think that's something our community needs.
Well, you're as well as you can be, you're well informed, and we don't know that much about it yet. We'll find out. But one thing I think it has to be done is just what you're doing right now. I think the communication part of this after tomorrow is so critical. Telling this story. You almost have to go out in the streets and start walking up down boulevards, knocking on doors, and saying, do you know about the minor league baseball team? And that, to me, is how you win elections. It's how you get points across, and how you get advocates for programs. There's so many things, because the first thing people want to know how you're going to finance it.
Right.
And when you mention the T word, it's I'm done, I'm out, no way, how. You won't even listen to the fact it's not a real estate tax. It's a consumer tax, which is built in the 1 cent sales tax, part of which could go for another project, not just a stadium. So, and I don't know that much about it. I know it's a tough struggle when you talk about municipalities helping buy stadiums. It's something that hasn't worked that great for a lot of people, and we want to be very careful about that. Mm-hmm. And I understand the need to move cautiously, but the opportunity to get the New York Yankees baseball team here, the ultimate brand in baseball, whether you love them or you hate them. A lot of Red Sox fans right now are saying, boo. But the thing is that this is an opportunity to be associated with a terrific brand in our community, and to have a facility which will be used for
it could be a hub for
soccer, rugby, whatever else you want to use it for. Baseball tournaments, state, college tournaments to be played here, and then have this for the Yankees single A team, and of course, even to some degree, they could, if they needed extra fields during the spring training, they could use these up here for that sometime.
Right.
So I think that now the money on that, I don't know. I want to see the plan. Also, a multi-use facility that could be used. Maybe there will be a concert you could have outside, whatever. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the city's plan is on that. But the next thing is going to be understanding it, answering questions. Then once we know what we've got, going out in the community and telling everybody, this is how we get minor league baseball here. Will you step up and support it? Because if we don't get that kind of support, the door knocking, shoe leather support, it's not going to pass. And here's the thing that worries me. I actually had someone tell me today, who's a well-connected person in the community, who is pro-baseball, and really is the kind of a person that's really even-handed and very thoughtful in his thinking, saying that he worries that the county commission will put it on the ballot. They're so afraid of the taxes. Now, it just so happens that Lee Niblock is my guest on Thursday, although Lee won't have a vote with the county commission. Still, I think what we need to do is, once we know what happens, if you think it's something we should pursue, is to sort of buttonhole each commissioner, Commissioner Bryant and on down the line, everybody, Zalak and of course Stan McLean and et cetera, and Arnett, and see where do you stand on this, and see if they'll actually come forward on this and take a position.
Right.
What I worry about most of all is people just sort of hiding in the shadows and not committing, saying, well, I don't really want to commit to that. They got to come out and say how they stand on this. So how do we make that happen?
Well, I think a lot of it is what you're saying, that we do have to corner each one of them individually and making sure that they do take a stand. And I would like to put a call out to anybody who is like me and grew up with minor league baseball. I say that I'm not a unique person in Marion County in that. I mean, I think there are probably people out there that know how important minor league baseball can be to their community. And certainly I'll be happy to be a champion, and I want others like me out there as well who know what it's like to live in minor league baseball towns. I know that when I've talked to people in the city government, they have used examples of Dayton, Ohio and places like that. But if you haven't actually lived it and felt it, then you don't really, you can do as much research as you want. Yeah. And certainly you've got great statistics to back it up. But if you haven't lived it and felt it, then you don't really know the impact it can
You're
make.
Exactly right, because as I tell people, talking about a team being in a pennant race, if you've never been in a town where your team is in a pennant race, you don't know what it's like.
Right.
It's like playing that SEC rivalry, a game that we do here. And if you've lived in a Boston or New York or even in a minor league situation where it's certainly a big deal when the pennant race is going on. So, John Bodell, we're going to get some. We had a conversation with Brad Rogers about this, the Star Banner, last week, and about the situation. And we talked about what there were things to do in Ocala, what you have to do, and minor league baseball came up. And we talked about leadership. And what kind of leadership we had and what we needed to have. So, JJ, if you got that bite number 2 over there, we could roll. So for a short bite with Brad Rogers talking about why we don't have a leader leading the way for the stadium. And this is what he had to say. How do we roll them? Do we hire them? What do we do?
It doesn't help when you have elected officials who control a lot of the purse strings.
Yeah.
Who are sitting there wincing and grimacing when someone's talking about passing a tax to build a stadium. Instead of getting excited and saying this is an opportunity to move us to the next level as a community, that this is an opportunity to expand our sports, our youth sports industry beyond $10 million. Maybe we can go to $30 million. Maybe we fill more hotel rooms, fill more restaurant seats. When they sit there and like, oh, well, the T word, the T word, enough. I mean, let's think about the possibilities as opposed to thinking about what the drawbacks.
What do you think of that, Allison?
I think he's exactly right. And I don't ever get on here and talk about politics, but I would probably lean to the more conservative side. I'm more of an anti-tax kind of person from time to time myself. But when it comes to something like this that is a no-brainer to me, and especially whenever you take it down to a sales tax, you'll have people out there that will be adversaries, certainly, who will say, well, you couldn't raise taxes or do a tax for education, or you couldn't do a tax to get Monroe, different things like that where the tax referendums have come up in the recent past. Well, this one's a little different because this one is a sales tax. Yep. And I know we've talked about that. People are not going to understand the difference and not going to understand why this makes sense and the other ones didn't.
Big selling job. I've got to go right to break, but I call that situation, what you just said right there, situation politics. I don't want any taxes unless it's something that I want. And that's kind of how we live in our life. You might be Tea Party, except when it comes down to the thing you want, and now I want to spend this money. But at some point, you have to spend money on projects to be able to have these quantum leaps and these for these economic drivers. Allison Campbell, the baseball maven, is. Do you hate that name, by the way?
I'm okay with it.
We'll come up with another one if you don't like
it's
it.
Fine.
It's with us in the studio. We'll take a break, come back. More with Allison after this timeout on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little bit of something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
Your home for Florida State football all season long. WOCA, The Source.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Andrew Clavin. He's an award-winning author whose best-selling novel, True Crime, was filmed by Clint Eastwood. He's got a new book. It's called Nightmare City, a young adult action novel.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
And then Carol Ann Baldwin will be answering your questions about your garden on her show, You've Got a Garden.
Jerry the Debt Lady Simpson is an executive trainer and a motivational speaker. She'll be speaking about her book, Lose 100 Pounds of Debt Weight. Learn how to trim that credit card fat.
And then Joel Reichel will be in the studio from Damage Control Services. He'll be telling you what he does when he gets a call from somebody who's had a misfortune with their home.
Dr. Sidney Jacoby is the Associate Professor of Orthopedic Surgery at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. He'll be speaking about the initial signs and symptoms of Dupuytren's contracture, a condition where you can't straighten your fingers.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require a $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Here's an intelligent tip for you. Just say anything as long as you say something. Got it? This is the rule when it comes to job interviews. Putting animals on a diet may not help them lose weight, because if your pet is turning to food as a way of coping with their emotions, restricting that food will only make them more unhappy. You need to get out of a funk? Then do this. It's very simple. Ready? Help somebody else. That's it.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
People have come and gone. Their faces fade as the years go by. Yet I still recall.
All right, final minutes with Allison Campbell, the baseball maven. That's the best name so far. If we come up with a better one, we'll let you know. Allison made a good point during the break, talking about when you see, you think about this baseball team being the Yankees, and yes, that is the ultimate brand for our town to be associated with, but there are also players coming through here who would play for the Yankees and also play for other teams who you will see someday in Major League Baseball, which you remember in your case.
Yes, well, first of all, just in the recent past, the Daytona Cubs, obviously a single A affiliate, just like what Ocala is looking to get. Garrett Cole came through with the with the Pittsburgh Pirates, Bradenton Marauders, and he was just a single A ball player at the time. My kids got to meet him, take a picture, sign autographs, all of that. He was pitching for the Pirates this year. I mean, that was just a year and a half ago that my kids got to meet him. And that's right, present day. But when I was growing up and we had season tickets, I saw Chipper Jones come through whenever he was just a minor league player. I mean, he's a future Hall of Famer. I saw Michael Jordan on his stint whenever he decided he wanted to play baseball for that.
Who was that guy? Who was
yeah,
he
exactly. Michael Jordan. I mean, hello. He did decide, in the 90s that he wanted to try his hand at baseball for a bit, and I got to see him up close and personal. A player that did play for the team whenever I had season tickets was Trevor Hoffman. I did get to know Trevor Hoffman pretty well. I mean, he's possibly a future Hall of Famer as well. I mean, there's just a lot of opportunities. And I saw Troy Gloss had mentioned some things also about how important minor league baseball teams are and minor league towns are to the players as they grow up and grow in the profession. There's just so many opportunities for Ocala as we look to pursue this opportunity for our community.
And Troy Gloss will be there tomorrow for the workshop, which is down. I guess it's open to the public. I'm sure it is.
I believe so.
And the meeting will be open to the public. And so if you're interested in this, go down to City Hall tomorrow. I think the time is 11:30. Tom, can you check that? 11:30 for the workshop. And hope I see some people turn out there. One thing I want to say was there's some basics we don't know, and like we were talking about earlier, the location of the stadium, which I wasn't really sure about until today. I talked to a friend. He says it's going to be out behind Dick's Sporting Goods,
right.
As you say, Heathbrook,
which
is off 575, right? About 80 acres or something, isn't it?
Something like that, right? Right now, in my mind's eye, it's where the flyover is,
right?
So I'm not sure how they'll,
Perfect.
How they'll make all of that work, but I think it's right around where the flyover is. And how perfect is it? I mean, Heathbrook's got its own apartment community right there. I mean, all the hotels that are close by. That's a perfect location for people to come. Anybody driving by I-75. I liken it to driving through downtown Atlanta and looking straight to see where the Braves play. I mean, it's right there. You can see it every time you're driving. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I liken it to that example. We just did it, on our way to Tennessee a couple weeks ago.
There you go. And that famous, we got about 30 seconds. That famous Mayor Ivan Allen talking about when they built the stadium there. Said we built this stadium on land we didn't own for a team we didn't have. That's kind of what we're doing in a way.
Exactly.
So, Allison, thanks for what you're doing in the community, and thanks for your passion for the game of baseball. And we'll see you tomorrow at the workshop.
Perfect. Thank you.
Allison Campbell. All right, we will take a break, come back. Dr. Buddy's in the house, and we got a new forum for our Faker Factoid. Stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of Kinetic Motion Fitness here in Ocala, Florida. A lot of you have experienced our great classes in personal small group training, but did you know we now offer dynamic workouts on DVD? These high-quality, locally produced, effective DVD workouts can go where you go. Going on vacation? No problem. We can go with you. Friends and relatives out of town who are jealous that you get to come to KMF? No problem. We ship anywhere in the United States for free. Our great lineup of 4 DVDs includes Kinetic Achieve, Kinetic Couples, Kinetic Core, and Kinetic Campus. 4 great workouts for the entire family on DVD. Sound interesting? Check them out on our website at kmfocala.com. While you're there, check out our class schedule and come see us. We're only 5 minutes from downtown across from the Skylark Plaza. Visit kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. KMF will get you results at our studio or at home with one of our DVDs. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are. Visit kmfocala.com for more information.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed rate allowance.
Warning, there's been a zombie outbreak in Marion County.
Do you feel like a zombie in your old car? Are you embarrassed to be seen driving around town? Are your monthly payments sucking the life out of you?
You may be driving dead. Hey, this is Chris Pierce from Prestige Auto Sales. If you're driving dead, I've got the cure. All you need is $13 down to drive alive in a nicer, newer car today.
Why drive a car that rots your brain when you can drive a car that's not a pain?
Put just $13 down and feel alive in a nicer, newer ride. Plus, my guaranteed credit approval process could bring you back to life. Even if bad credit has held you back in the past, I'm saving Marion County residents from driving dead.
So trade in your terrifying old ride, bring in $13 to put down, and drive home today.
I believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car, and this week it only takes $13. But hurry, this offer ends once we've revived 47 drivers. My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See our Prestige.
This is Austin Tappan reminding you to stay in contact with us at WOCA. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Voice of Ocala. Make sure to become a friend of our Facebook page and call us at 622-9622.
WOCA, keeping you in touch with Ocala.
Hi, Robin. You look tired.
I am. I've been running all over town.
Why? Why not drive?
I need to get this stupid document notarized.
Oh, that's easy. You need personal service.
Duh. That's what I've been looking for.
You need to go see Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can notarize that for you, make copies, fax it wherever, or send it out in the mail. Heck, he can even scan it and email it for you.
Really? Where is he at?
2375 Northeast 25th Avenue, on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. You can call him at 789-6683.
Personal Service Center. Thanks, Larry.
Don't ever miss a single edition of the Mike Huckabee Show. We're going to have a whole lot of fun talking the big issues of the day. We'll talk to the newsmakers and the issues that made them a newsmaker, as well as we'll bring you some entertainment, some fun. You never know what's going to happen on the Mike Huckabee Show. Don't miss it.
Join Mike Huckabee every weekday from noon to 3 exclusively on WOCA The Source.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. A pleasant day today with plenty of sunshine. The high 78 to 82. Tonight will be mainly clear with a low of 58 and a few inland spots, 68 along the coast. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a shower possibility near the coast. The high temperature 80 to 84. For Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds, maybe a shower at the coast. The high 80 to 84. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is Joe, and I'm your host for the new show, Damage Control, every Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m., brought to you by Damage Control Services. We're going to be discussing floods, fires, storm and tree damage, sinkholes, mold, and many other disasters that you need to know about, how to prevent and prepare for them, as well as what to do when it happens and what to expect after it happens. This is Damage Control, Tuesdays at 10:30, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
Ocala Radio, WOCA. You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
I'm Joan Bennett. A federal judge in Austin, Texas, has ruled that new abortion restrictions passed by the Texas legislature are unconstitutional and shouldn't take effect tomorrow as planned. The proposed restrictions were among the toughest in the nation. 26 young men who claimed they were victims of child sexual abuse at the hands of former Penn State assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky will be sharing nearly $60 million. That's what Penn State is agreeing to give them to settle their claims. What's the most unreliable part of your new car? The annual Consumer Reports Reliability Survey out today finds it's the electronics. According to owners, the computer infotainment system tops the list. The operator of a North Carolina State Fair ride that malfunctioned last week, injuring 5 people, made his first court appearance today. Tim Tutterow facing 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, inflicting serious injury. He's being held on $225,000 bond. This is ABC News.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This could cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us if you want Viagra at the lowest prices. prices. Never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-908-5260 today to save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-908-5260. Call 800-908-5260. That's 800-908-5260. Again, 800-908-5260.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
If he's gone, he's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Speaking of time travel, you travel right an hour to the program on a Monday. Beautiful day, October 28th here in Ocala. A little on the toasty side where we're sitting with the sun coming in and our JJ's nice, got a nice block, a big black board blocking him out.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I got the sun headed my way. I'm sure it's going to get toasty over here before the day is over. So,
by the way, buddy, you asked for the exact time. 11:30 tomorrow morning, City Council workshop.
Workshop for the baseball thing, and also Tom reporting that he read some stories on the internet from the Tampa Bay Times and Tribune and what have you, Braden and Harrell, all reporting the same story that was our reporters reported here over the weekend about baseball, the workshop, and as we've reported on this station now for how long?
Right, almost a year.
Yeah,
Here's the thing: the reason Tampa, everybody wants to know why they want to move, why the Yankees want to move out of Tampa. They play in an 11,000 seat George Steinbrenner Field. It's the spring training home of the Yankees. This year they drew a total of 118,770 fans, or 1,827 fans per game.
Right, and that's not a bad crowd, but 11,000 seat stadium.
It looks like nobody's there.
Yeah. All right, this hour, guys, we got a lot to go here because we got Dr. Buddy in the house, ready to go. You guys are participants in this. We got some comments from John Gruden coming up in the Sports Hour, which we might get to one of before we get through here. You want to hear these? They're funny. You talk about laughter and belly laughs. We had them Friday at Gateway Bank when John Gruden spoke here, particularly his comments about Steve Spurrier. I thought were quite funny.
Very candid.
Very candid. Good description. Exactly. Thanks to Allison Campbell for dropping by. You know, it's people like Allison that make the difference in the community. When you need someone to step up and represent and advocate, you know, that's what you want. Allison we talk about getting engaged and getting people involved. The Allison Campbells of the world are really what make the clock tick, you know? And so I hope she'll be I want to spread her enthusiasm all around the county for this because I don't know if it will pass. I don't know whether I can honestly say it's going to be a great ROI or return on investment in terms of the actual dollars, but I feel in my heart it will eventually, and it's something I believe that would be it's called Project Home Run. That's what it ought to be, shouldn't it?
Should be.
All right, let's set the premise for Dr. Buddy. And by the way, today, the new improved, shorter fake or factoids with mulligans for the guys, so they'll be able to have a chance to make it a little bit easier. So we'll do the introduction on Dr. Buddy, and we're going to bring in our associates for the second half of this after the break and let them decide. This is a story about Bob, okay? This is an actual case, different name. Bob lives alone in another town. Bob was divorced 17 years ago from Mary, we'll call her, and he began dating Lauren at that time. Ultimately becoming engaged to Lauren 2 years later, but forced to carry on a long-distance relationship. Now, you guys with me so far? You get the character.
So
right?
His fiance, or are they married?
Right.
His fiance doesn't live here.
Right. Bob was divorced, stayed in the same town. His fiance lived in a different town. He ultimately got engaged to this other woman, ultimately 2 years later. And yeah, she lived in a different 500 miles away. Okay.
Wow.
So he carried on a long-distance relationship. Okay, you with me on that?
Yes.
You guys got it?
Following you.
All right. It never really worked out because Bob, although he was engaged, had to make trips up there back and forth. And meanwhile, he becomes estranged from his family, his children, and now his grandchildren because of the relationship that he had with this other woman, Lauren. Here's the worst part, is the ex-wife accused Bob of having cheated on her with Lauren while they were married, which, by the way, was not true. But she put that word out there that Bob cheated with Lauren. That's important.
17 years prior.
Yeah. Well, no. Then during the time they were having problems, and the marriage was about to be dissolved. She thought Bob was cheating on her at that time, but that wasn't the reason that the divorce or the separation.
But that was 17 years ago.
17 years ago.
Okay.
Correct. And so consequently, although it wasn't true, she sort of poisoned the minds of the kids by saying, well, he's been a
So
cheater.
they have children together,
Yeah,
obviously.
two children and grandchildren, okay? All right, keep asking questions. You with me so far?
Yes.
Tom, you look confused.
No, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. So Bob has got this divorced, his ex, who he has no relationship with, and he has tried to keep a relationship with his family, but it's hard because of his ex. And then he has engagement with this other woman out of town, which he sees off and on for 2 or 3 years, and ultimately, it just doesn't work out. Those long-distance things don't work out, although Bob did try his best to figure a way to be with this other woman, Lauren. She didn't particularly want him to come up there and live with her, okay? So you with that now?
Okay.
Right.
So he stays where he is. Meanwhile, after a number of years at this, the relationship sort of cooled off, and Bob says, it's time for me to make peace with my family.
Right.
I want to have holidays. I want to have nice Christmases.
So him and his
birthdays.
kids are on what terms?
That's the point. Is
They
that
weren't on good terms.
Weren't on
His
good
mother
terms.
had poisoned them.
But
Still,
right.
okay.
With this about
Right,
cheating.
right. But he wanted better terms, and he didn't write this other woman off, Lauren. But he just
This
never saw
almost
her
sounds
anymore.
more like a family issue than anything else.
That you might be zoning in on it, but we're not through yet. Okay, so now, Bob says, I'm going to have some kind of relationship with my ex, just on a friendship terms because I want to be with my kids
Right.
on holidays. So
Obvious.
Bob builds a bridge, okay? And he, to a point where not only did he go to holidays there and see the grandkids and the kids and whatever,
Started getting a little more serious.
we're friendly and didn't get too serious. But what's serious is when you get older, let me tell you, you don't like living by yourself all the time, okay? You need companionship, right? And at that point, you don't work the bars at that age, okay?
Right.
You with me,
Right.
Tom? You don't work the bars.
Yeah,
you know what?
I'm with you.
You're married to a woman.
You can try, but you're going to look like a
Right,
fool.
but you married to a person for 20 years, and she's out of a relationship. She's the mother of his children. They're thrown together, so he figures, what the heck? Let's go to a movie. Let's go to dinner once in a while, okay?
Right.
And so they start going to dinner and a movie occasionally. And they have a good, strong, platonic relationship. That's all it is.
Right.
Just platonic, okay?
They're friends.
They're friends. They can talk about things. Meanwhile, Bob was saying, the clock is ticking. Bob's saying, I don't really want to live by myself forever. So he says, well, nothing else. Maybe we can just be like roommates and have she can get a place and I can get a place. I mean, the same condo. By the way, JJ, it's not uncommon where you actually just say, remember, they're both paying expenses. Money's tight, okay?
Okay.
Money's tight. They're both paying expenses, and they're friends. They have a relationship. But he says, well, maybe if you're up for it, if you'd like to, I'd consider possibility of us getting a condo together and us having separate rooms, okay? And that's all it was, all right? She shows no interest, okay? Okay. All right, here we go. So now, Dr. Buddy, fans waving to Dr. Buddy, they go by now. So here we are. Now, all of a sudden, after all this time, he's got this relationship with his family. The woman he was engaged to, who has since given the ring back, he goes to visit her, and she says, if you want to have a long-term relationship, I'm going to retire soon. I'm up for it. Okay? I'm up for
So
it.
she realizes that, okay, he's got other choices now.
Well, she knew that the whole time.
Basic, typical female things.
Yeah. She knew that. She knew his wife.
Okay, but she didn't know that they were as friendly as they are
Yeah,
now.
she kind of knew it.
But now that she knows that, she's willing to make things work.
Right, and she said, however, it may cost you your family.
Wow.
And he said, you're right. So now he says, I'm not sure I want to do that and risk my, even though I don't have
My
a relationship. But my ex-wife doesn't want to have any relationship with me, and I don't want to live alone. Okay? Oh, you got it now?
I know exactly what's going on.
Tom, you got it? You got to ask George? All right, you guys got the question. Bob, ex-wife, former fiance.
It's a lot to take in.
That's why I explained it now, so you understand the premises of it. So what does Bob do? What is he going to do? He doesn't want, if he dares goes and joins his ex-fiance, his kids will say, yeah, Mom was right. He was cheating the whole time. Yeah. Right?
For sure.
And then he loses that relationship. All right, so that's the situation with Bob. How is Dr. Buddy going to help Bob out? We will find out with Dr. Well, I can't call you guys doctors. What should I call you?
Tom could be a nurse.
We're physician assistants.
Yeah.
Okay, physician assistants.
Yeah, that sounds way cooler.
All right. Tom and JJ, the physician assistants.
Not hating on male nurses, I'm just saying.
Absolutely. We'll take a break, come back. Dr. Buddy has lots more to come with his associates after the timeout on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Getting a head start in learning to read is more important now than ever for our young children. The Reading Pals program of Marion County pairs up reading mentors with struggling kindergartners and helps them get up to speed in their most important years. But they need volunteers. If you'd like to be a Reading Pal, call Jan Hathaway at the United Way at 732-9696. That's 732-9696. Be a Reading Pal today.
Dry, itchy, scaly skin? Do you have psoriasis? Consider joining our research study. Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala is conducting a research study evaluating the effectiveness of investigational combination of two study medications for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. You may qualify if you're between the ages of 18 and 75 and have been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for at least 6 months. For more information, please call Rinstar in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Qualified participants may receive study-related medical care and study medication. Compensation for time and travel may also be provided. To find out more information about this psoriasis study, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Rinstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Andrew Klavan. He's an award-winning author whose best-selling novel, True Crime, was filmed by Clint Eastwood. He's got a new book. It's called Nightmare City, a young adult action novel.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-size.
And then Carol Ann Baldwin will be answering your questions about your garden on her show, You've Got a Garden.
Jerry the Debt Lady Simpson is an executive trainer and a motivational speaker. She'll be speaking about her book, Lose 100 Pounds of Debt Weight. Learn how to trim that credit card fat.
And then Joe Reichel will be in the studio from Damage Control Services. He'll be telling you what he does when he gets a call from somebody who's had a misfortune with their home.
Dr. Sidney Jacoby is the Associate Professor of Orthopedic Surgery at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. He'll be speaking about the initial signs and symptoms of Dupuytren's contracture, a condition where you can't straighten your fingers.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
This is Tom Schmitz live in WOCA studios with this news update brought to you by Gateway Bank. Gas prices dropped last week. Now the current national average is $3.29. The national average fell 6 cents from last week. The Florida average of $3.28 dropped 5 cents from last week. And the Ocala average on Monday was $3.28, down from $3.33 last week, according to the website GasBuddy.com. This news break was brought to you by Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank. Join Buddy Friday for Community Gazette Day at Gateway Bank.
My first, my last, my everything, and the answer to all my dreams. You're my sun, my moon.
All right, that's Barry singing there. Last stuff is we're talking about our friend Bob, my friend Bob, who has a case involving two women. Who wants to try to summarize the case as you know it so far? My associates here are my assistants, JJ and Tom. What do you call yourselves? Physical, what do you call yourselves?
Physicians.
Physicians, okay.
So let me get this right.
Okay. All right.
Bob and his wife fell on hard times.
Yeah, well, they were romantically they did, yeah.
And they were going through a divorce.
Right.
While going through the divorce, Bob met Lauren. Or he'd known Lauren.
Had known Lauren before that.
And he started dating Lauren.
Yeah.
And it was an out-of-town relationship.
Right.
But after 2 years of that relationship, they got engaged.
Yes.
Now, the wife, while she was hurting and reeling during the divorce, let it be known that Bob was cheating on her with Lauren before the divorce started, which was in fact not true, but that's how she sold it to everybody.
Right. That's how she believed it.
Right. Well, the thing with Lauren finally, after many years of back and forth, long-distance relationship didn't work out. They broke the engagement off.
Right.
And Bob then said, well, I need to try to get my family back because he'd been estranged from his kids because his wife had poisoned him with the "your father's a cheater" story.
Right.
So he finally got his family, worked back in where he's seeing his kids, his grandkids, even got to where he had a very platonic friendship with his ex-wife.
Correct.
He doesn't want to live by himself forever, so he's even proposed to his ex-wife that they share they cohabitate together in separate bedrooms as roommates, a condominium together.
That's correct.
Then he goes and visits his old flame, Lauren, and she says she's about ready to retire and she would give some thought to moving in.
Or letting him move in.
Or letting him move
out
in.
of town.
Now, so
which would remove him from his family.
Bob's ex-wife hasn't said yet whether she wants to move in or not.
Right. She didn't know anything about what Lauren said.
Right. And they don't know, he's got two things. And Bob's choices are, if his ex-wife says yes, he can move in, they can move in together, and that way he keeps his happy family together, his grandkids, his kids, or he can move in with Lauren, either here or there, and run the risk of estranging his kids because of the poisonous apple from 17 years ago.
Right, very good. It would be there for sure, not here. So there you go. That's very good. Now you listen. That's a good job reporting. Now, JJ, what questions do you have about that?
None. I think I got this pretty much figured out.
Okay, so remember now, he also.
I mean, obviously, I would love to have him sit down and answer some questions.
Well, I'm
I'm
representing for him. Right. I can tell you what he was saying. Here's the other. It's not me, by the way. here's the deal that he when asked if he.
But Tom missed an important thing.
All right,
Let me go back.
One missing question.
She, meaning his ex-wife, was not down to move in as a roommate. She said no.
She hasn't said yet.
She hadn't
said
said
yet
yet
one
one way or the other.
She wouldn't do that.
She hadn't said one way or the other.
About that yet. He's right. So we don't know for sure how it looks doubtful, and Bob doesn't want to go back and ask her again. She's also not pursued it, so he thought, well, she probably doesn't want to.
All right.
So she'd benefit from it too, because economically she's having a little bit of a struggle. So you're both mutually, from the financially, for them be beneficials, okay? So you at least be moving in with somebody you do, not instead of a stranger, and you share groceries and will share expenses. That's just one possibility.
You also share the same arguments you shared 17
Not
years
really.
prior.
That ship has sailed really on. There's been too many years now. Those arguments are no valid. But there is a possibility of things flaring up. Don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
So, the other option is not to do either.
And I think that's what my answer.
Yeah, but Bob's already said, I don't want to spend the rest of my life by myself.
It doesn't mean he's going to die tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, but he's tired of waking up every day.
I think he's just settling.
No, he's not settling. He definitely has done this a while. He's lived by himself. He's dated and all that stuff for over 17 years. And he wants the companionship of somebody to have coffee with, to see a sunset, to go to a movie, So
listen, if he goes and moves 500 miles away, he's not just going to be able to quit thinking about the person that he's been with recently and wanting to live with. Even if he says just platonic, it's still someone you care and love about. If you want to live with them, you have kids together. It's not like driving 500 miles away is going to get your mind 500 miles away. That's not exactly how it works.
Well, that's a good point, but there's one missing question you guys haven't brought up, and this is the key to the whole thing.
Let me ask something. Has he talked to his children about this?
Not yet.
Because that
would
this
be
all hinges on.
Now you're getting close to
this
Dr.
This all hinges on if he sits down, because his kids are adults now.
Yes.
He sits down with his adult children and lays the story out, and the adult children say, Dad, you're our dad. All that was 17 years ago. We now, we've gotten past that and everything. You're our dad. We trust in you, what you told us and everything. And his kids sign off that they're not going to vacate his life. I'm moving in with Lauren as quick as I can go.
All right, now you've really touched upon Dr. Buddy's advice and my solutions. You've really starting to understand how Dr. Buddy thinks now. That's part of it. The second part of this is, neither one of you asked about his feelings for each woman. You didn't ask that question. What feelings?
I just assumed that he had feelings for both.
Yeah, but different kinds.
He loves his wife. He loves his ex-wife. He's not in love with her.
He loves Lauren. He's in love with Lauren, but he loves his wife.
Which one's Lauren?
Lauren is
the one that lives out of town.
Right. Yeah. He's in love with Lauren. He loves his ex-wife.
Mary's his wife.
Right.
And he loves her, but he loves her in a different way.
Right, of course.
To me, though,
there's nothing physical.
All right,
by the
he
way.
got shut down by Lauren earlier. Okay.
Well,
now she's kind of changed around her tune
she
a
got
little
shut
bit.
down by his ex-wife too.
Right.
Who kicked him out originally.
But I'm saying, okay, so both of these females then. What makes you think now that Lauren is kind of thinking, all right, maybe you can move up here, I might retire soon. That doesn't necessarily mean that she's not going to, in a few months, a year, or whatever, be like, listen, this isn't working out. She already didn't feel like that before. What makes you think she's totally changed her mind?
JJ, if I'm getting his vibe, is leaning towards say no to option one, no to option two, and look for option three.
That's what I think, but
He's
I
already
mean,
tried
he's
option
an older
three.
guy.
Yeah, he's option three.
Obviously lonely right now.
Yeah.
I can't put myself in those shoes because I've never even been close.
Well, that's
to
good though. Here's the point: the fact that the feelings toward the person is important. And here's one little piece of advice I didn't give you. When his wife kicked him out, and he went away for 3 or 4 months and came back to get the divorce, and was already seeing Lauren, which didn't take place after this whole thing went up.
Right.
The last day before he signed the divorce papers, his wife said, "Do you want to call it off?"
And he said no.
And he said, "I can't trust her."
Right. You already kicked me out. That's what
She kicked her out. So now if he said, just what you said opposite, if he stayed with his ex-wife, then he loses Lauren.
I didn't know that.
See, so he loses Lauren. So it's just the reverse of what you said. So now I'm going to tell you what my solution, Dr. Buddy's solution, was. And I spoke to this person and told this person. The issue is the mind of the children, how they think about it. They don't know what's going on, right? He still wants to pursue keeping his family together because that's the most important thing to him above everything else.
Yeah.
So he says, I said, go back and talk to your ex-wife again and put it back on the table and just say, think about this and give me an answer. Then go to your children and make it known that you say, I don't want to live by myself. I've tried to, I'm see if your mother wants to get back together. If she does, I would like to move back together, right?
Correct.
If she says no, then he's free to go.
I can do what I want without y'all thinking I'm a piece of crap.
Right. I can now go to Lauren and live with her and be with her and say, I tried, didn't work out. I brought you to the equation. I told you where I was, and it's on his ex-wife more than him.
Exactly.
You like that solution?
Yeah.
Yes.
If it works, if it were to be as smooth as that.
Well, but I mean, there's no other option at this
exactly.
point in time. I mean, or he could still at least say that.
That is the best thing to do, I guess.
Yeah, I think Dr. Buddy has nailed it on right on this one. I know it's correct. And here's the other thing. Because I know this, because even if he goes to the children and tells them, no matter what happens, then his children know he did not want to dump his mother over the side. There's some other over the side. So from that standpoint, I'm not the perfect answer, but I think for right now, Dr. Buddy and his physician associates have nailed this for Bob. Bob's got to do the right thing. Tell your kids and pick the one you want. We do what we can.
One person at a time, buddy.
One person at a time.
One life has to change at a time.
Exactly right. So if you have any Dr. Buddy scenarios, you'd like us to take them on, we are not physicians and we're not psychiatrists. We didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn last night.
Just play one on the radio.
But we just try to facilitate conversation about relationships, if that's helpful. Every now and then, it's got to be more than just a dating game. It's got to be something else. So there you go. That was a good one today. I enjoyed that. Thanks, guys. Good job. Well, you guys nailed it, man. You guys were on it. You listened. You followed up.
Got to help our fellow men, buddy.
Well, I mean,
they're going through it out there.
Yeah, it's tough for everybody out there. So, okay, you understand the new rules for fake or fact?
I mean, kind
sort of.
Do you hate them? I mean, if
no,
you
I don't even. We get a mulligan.
If we don't like a question, we can take a mulligan, or if we get a question wrong, at the end of it,
we get two.
Yeah, and
but you can only get one mulligan apiece.
Get one mulligan. Once you use it up, that's it. And so, if that works for you guys, unless you want to go back to the old way, but I mean,
no, let's try
do this new way.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We come back. Tom's got his segment coming up. I don't know what it's going to be on. Who knows?
I got a new study out about tweeting, texting, smartphones, laptops, whether they should or should not be in your children's bedroom.
I know the answer to that, but Dr. Buddy's already had his say.
I'm sure.
Well, let Dr. Tom. Now, I can't give you a doctor's title. That's not going to work.
No.
Let Tom answer that question.
Roving reporter, sir.
There you go, roving reporter and a trivia expert. We'll talk about that, and we'll play the new improved shorter version of Fake or Factoid right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Recently, I had a great conversation with General Manager Pat Murray on the special events at Country Club of Ocala.
We have a lot of events, special events here that are geared towards the family. Easter comes to mind. We have an Easter bunny who hops around on the driving range. We usually hide somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 eggs and turn them loose and let them go harvest the eggs. We have a great family celebration here on the 4th of July where it's a traditional cookout, if you will. And as the sun goes down, the driving range becomes alive with probably one of the better fireworks displays in the area. Breakfast with Santa is a big deal.
Country Club of Ocala, where the Easter Bunny, Santa, and all the children, large and small, are a big deal on every special occasion. For more information, call 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of the Monday Gator Report right here on The Source.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase process fixed rate allowance.
Warning, there's been a zombie outbreak in Marion County.
Do you feel like a zombie in your old car? Are you embarrassed to be seen driving around town? Are your monthly payments sucking the life out of you?
You may be driving dead. Hey, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. If you're driving dead, I've got the cure. All you need is $13 down to drive alive in a nicer, newer car today.
Why drive a car that rots your brain when you can drive a car that's not a pain?
Put just $13 down and feel alive in a nicer, newer ride. Plus, my guaranteed credit approval process could bring you back to life. Even if bad credit has held you back in the past, I'm saving Marion County residents from driving dead.
So trade in your terrifying old ride, bring in $13 to put down, and drive home today.
I believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car, and this week it only takes $13. But hurry, this offer ends once we've revived 47 drivers. My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See our Prestige.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Hey everybody, this is Kelly Hart, your new host of the Ocala Magazine radio show. Join me every Friday at 10 a.m. when we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life with in-depth interviews from and about your community. So don't miss Marion County's favorite city magazine, Ocala Magazine, every Friday at 10 a.m. right here on 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
1370 WOCA.
WOCA. I'm burning for you.
We're back on the Voice of Ocala. I'm Tom Schmitz, and today I want to talk about a new phenomenon, smartphones, tweeting, texting. A new phenomenon, the last 10, 15 years, these things have cropped up. And now doctors are doing studies on the effects that it have on children. And while it's new technology, the story remains the same. Just as when I was a child, they said limit how much television a child could watch unsupervised. Don't put TVs in a kid's bedroom. Don't put phones in a kid's bedroom. Put them where they can be easily monitored. We talked about this on Ask the Cops last week, about computers being in the living room where kids have access to them, the phones being in the living room, no smartphones. Well, now there's a study out from the American Academy of Pediatrics, headed up by Dr. Victor Strasberg. He says it's the 21st century, but the story still remains the same. Parents should limit their kids' tweeting, texting, keep smartphones, laptops, and all out of the bedrooms and in public areas like a living room or a kitchen so parents can monitor what their kids are doing. I know kids are going to say, yeah, right. Trust me, when I used to come home and say, hey, I want a TV in my bedroom because one of my friends had a TV in his bedroom, kids back then thought it was our right to have a TV in the bedroom. All this texting and tweeting and with smartphones, laptops being used without supervision, now this study has linked them to violence, cyberbullying, school woes, obesity, lack of sleep, along with a host of other problems. It's not the major cause of any of these troubles, but it does have a profound impact, the media exposure that these children are getting. So this study says that you should limit the use of smartphones, computers, and other internet-connected devices to no more than 2 hours a day. Smartphone use in emergencies only. And they make a suggestion, which my sister has done for years, buddy. If your child must have a phone with them because you want to know where your children are at all times, the 911 part of the phone always works, even in a phone that doesn't have texting abilities or phone calling abilities. So if there's an emergency, your kid can always get 911. So it's still got a safety net. But it looks like, even though it's new technology, buddy, the story still remains the same. Limit.
Yeah, I like the suggestion of keeping the family computer in the living room, but the problem is they have access to phones and they have access to other computers and what have you. We talked about this with Lieutenant Woods on Friday. He said the kitchen phone had a long cord on it. You take that when you were a kid, you get the kitchen phone, you go sit in the closet somewhere and make your calls. But everybody ultimately gives in. They give their kids. It used to be the phone in their bedroom, like you said. Then it was TV. Now it's cable. Now it's the internet. It's difficult. There's no question. The biggest difference is that phones and the internet are interactive. And that's the problem when people get messed up with people.
Well,
predators and things like that.
They studied kids ages 12 to 17. They studied 1,400 kids, 702 girls, 698 guys between the ages of 12 and 17. Half of them were their computers that they used on a regular basis were not monitored, were in their bedrooms, or they were allowed to have them at all times under their own personal use. The other half had the computers out in public areas. 81% of the computers that were unsupervised had pornography downloaded on them between 12 and 17-year-olds. 91% of them had 10 or more curse words in social texting back and forth on Facebook and the like between 12 and 17-year-olds. So there's some validity. If you're unsupervised as a kid, you're going to do what kids will do, push the envelope.
Absolutely. Just got this bulletin. Billy Donovan joins the program on Thursday. Coach Donovan will be here about 5:35 or so on the phone, and he will be giving us a preview of his season and following up on the discussion we had with him after the meeting last week at the Hilton of the Augie Grinder Ocala Gator Tip-Off Club where he spoke. So Coach Donovan with us on Thursday. Also Wednesday night, but college football's back. JJ, we're going to pick from him on the big ACC game between your Canes and the Noles, and see if there's any chance at all that the Hurricanes might have of winning that game. Not going to happen, unfortunately. All right, you guys ready to go? You ready to tee it up here? Let's try the new and improved, shorter version of Fake or Factoids. Only 5 questions. Get a mulligan. Use it for a pass or a miss. Very simple stuff. Just say fake or fact. That's all you got to do. Ready? Number 1. The original users of the contraction ain't or members of the upper class.
Fact.
False. Fake.
JJ is correct. It is, in fact, true.
Boom.
You only get 5 now.
I know.
You can exercise it now. You can exercise it later. Mulligan now, mulligan later, whichever one you want to do. Number 2. Each year, there is 1 ton of cement poured for each man, woman, and child in the world. I can always reread it if you ask.
Please reread that.
All right. This is like spelling bee. Can you repeat it, please? Each year, there was 1 ton of cement poured for each man, woman, and child in the world. In other words, the same amount. JJ, what'd you say?
Fake.
Fake, okay.
That's fact.
Tom's correct. It is factual. So it's 1-1 right now.
A ton.
Yeah, that's 6 billion tons of concrete.
Yeah, there you go.
You got to think of skyscrapers and all the floors and everything.
Number 3. The first movie star to wear a bikini on screen was Sophia Loren, the Italian version of the movie Married Italian Style, that was reshot with her wearing a one-piece for the American viewing audience.
Fact.
Fake.
Dang.
Fake. Wow.
Made it up. Sounded good, though, didn't it?
Yes.
Do a little research even on the fake ones, okay? Number 4. And by the way, you guys, he's got 2 misses. So you get the mulligans at the end.
Right.
Maybe they did for tiebreaker. Number 4, waking up too early in the morning can increase a person's risk of heart attack and stroke.
Fake.
Fact.
Tom leads. It's fact.
Already lost.
No, you haven't lost yet because you still get a mulligan.
Okay.
You want a mulligan to keep yourself from going out?
Yeah, right? Because we
there you
can't
go.
get 3.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just saying. I say use them anytime. Okay, here's the other thing about this. This is what I call a mulligan, which is the good news. You get to answer it, and if it's wrong or fake, if you provide the right answer, you still get credit for it. You got me?
Okay.
I'll give it to you, and I say it's so-and-so, and you say it's correct, and I'll say, no, it's not. But if you can give me the right answer to it, you get the point back. You ready? Okay. This is a mulligan. Mulligan number 1. Coffee is the most widely consumed beverage in the world after water.
False. Fake.
That's correct. For extra credit, what is?
Coca-Cola.
Wrong. You got 1 point, though. You still got a point. This doesn't count.
Got it taken off, right.
You got 1 point, so you're down to 2. Tom, how many you got? 2
I have 2.
You still got your mulligan left.
Right.
And you can pass on a question, too.
Right.
You only got 1 more to go. This is a tough one. Using your friend's Netflix account to watch movies is actually considered a federal crime. Fact.
Fake.
Tom's right is correct.
Oh, my God.
Tom wins, doesn't even need his mulligan.
What is my mulligan?
Your mulligan is walnuts are one of the ingredients of dynamite. Fact. It's fake.
Yeah, that sounded ridiculous.
Peanuts.
No, peanuts. I knew it was one. I knew there was.
Wrong
I knew
nut.
it was a
So
nut.
what's
Yeah.
the second most drank beverage in the
It's
world?
tea.
Tea.
Yeah.
Guess that
Tea.
makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Good job.
And I still won even the new version. So
Well, you won. Yeah, you won. You get to wear the crown today. That's just today. We'll see how that works out.
Austin is in the building now.
Austin in the building.
Thank God.
Need a little reprieve from each other, don't we? All right, so let me tell you about sleep. We'll talk about sleep. We got just a minute here. I don't know. You guys seem like you sleep pretty good. Tom, sometimes you don't.
I sleep great.
All right, Tom, you have.
I do not.
There's various.
Overweight people have a hard time sleeping.
Oh,
I'm just saying. That's a fact. Because remember when he went on his diet, how much better of a sleeper he was?
He makes a point that
He's
he's right
entirely
about
correct.
that. So, okay, here's the thing. This is specifically aimed at one group. Each group has a unique aspect to their sleep. Teenagers have really a hard time sleeping.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, they have a lot of
They're
their
stressing.
They're stressing
Yeah.
emotions, right? Seniors,
Senior citizens.
yes, seniors. Well, they're all citizens. Seniors
Right.
have a difficult problem because of the chronic conditions they have.
Right.
For side effects, they may be their medication they're taking. It could be just common age. And according to this story I read today, it said because they're less able to maintain quality sleep, seniors tend to suffer chronic sleep deprivation, and that causes them to nod off during the day. We see old guys sleeping because they don't get the right kind of sleep, right? According to this article, their seniors are also more likely to experience a natural shift in their internal clock that doctors call advanced sleep phase syndrome, in which they begin going to bed earlier and getting up earlier in the morning. Well, there I go.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fall asleep at 9:30 or 10, and I wake up at 4 or 5. There's some evidence that seniors do not need as much sleep as younger adults. I didn't know this. A 2013 study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medication found that seniors are mentally sharper if they only got 6 to 8 hours of sleep.
Wow.
So that's
Well, who
something-
sleeps more than 8 hours?
There are a few, and accordingly, 7 to 9 is the normal. But everybody, depending on what age group you're in, study participants who slept 9 or more hours did worse on tests.
My body would not let me stay asleep for 9 hours.
No. So, sleeping is such a,
everybody's different, man.
Everybody's
There's
different.
some
Exactly right. Everybody's
people
different.
who have really bad sleep problems. My dad used to take Ambien.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh
good.
my God! It took it like 2 times. He used to walk around the house just screaming.
Well,
like sleepwalking, doing stupid things.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then so he looks on WebMD or whatever. There's stories about people driving in cars, getting pulled over in the middle of the night and being woken up by the police officer.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Urban Meyer fell out of the bed, thought he had a heart attack because he took an Ambien that night.
Yeah. It's not a game.
And no, it's dangerous stuff. I'm not a big fan of sleeping aids. I know some people have to take melatonin and stuff because they can't but you can't go without sleep. You got to have sleep. It just wreck you if you don't. Physically, mentally, everything else. So, anyway, little thing on sleep. So that's a little something. Have you ever done a sleep study, Tom?
No.
You need to go see.
I got apnea, though. I know that.
Well, you need to go. You know what? That's a dangerous
Put a
thing.
mask on you, bro.
Well, you know what? I wear one.
Do you?
I do. And I've told the story on this air before. I almost didn't get it. Till a friend of mine who has one said, if you don't get it, you don't like it, your body don't like it, I'll buy it from you.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
But that was his way of saying you should do it. What I found is, even though I wasn't a severe case, you get what is called REM sleep, REM.
Right.
Much quicker and easier. And now I can do
That's where you're like really out.
You're out.
Yeah.
You're really in the zone. I mean, I get great REM sleep in my chair sometimes, where I wake up.
Me too.
I think if I could only sleep that good in my bed, you know?
See,
every time the Gators play this year, I feel like.
I can't sleep on my back, so I have to sleep on my stomach.
No, most people can't. Yeah,
that helps me some. So,
well, you need to. I know it's difficult, but when Obamacare kicks in, you need to go get yourself a sleep center.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm not paying for it anyway.
No, there you go. Well,
great
my point
attitude.
But it's dangerous. You can actually have to stop breathing. That's
yeah.
That's what apnea is. Your body wakes you up because you stop breathing.
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought, well, what the heck?
It's scary, man.
It is scary. So, but I'm good with it, and I'm glad I did it. Now, almost didn't. I sure am glad I did. So, I encourage. You know what?
Remember, I'm a single guy that doesn't have really large family ties or anything.
Yeah, right. We
when I die, right?
I just stopped worried about how I'm going to pay my bills and everything. Okay.
Yeah, but the deal is that we don't want you to have to pick up your workload here.
Well, that's what it is.
They care about you. We just don't worry about you. So
I went to confession Saturday. I'm right. I'm right.
Right.
So,
me and God are cool.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, it's time to take a break. Austin's here. That means it's getting closer to the 5 o'clock hour. I mean, we'll take a break, come back. We'll wrap it up with tweets and quotes right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's national magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Ugh, what wrong? Ugh, need wood for fire.
Ugh, I go get. Ugh, I got wood for fire.
Ugh, what takes so long?
Had to use restroom. Someone not refill toilet paper.
Ugh, my bad. You wash hands?
Ugh, of course. Ugh, what caveman you take me for?
You know, Dan, people who save money by switching to Mike Scott Plumbing sure are happy.
Well, Brittany, how happy are they?
Happier than a caveman with indoor plumbing.
Yep. Get happy. Get Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it. 237-2888.
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a pilot's license. This will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
The music's so good, I almost want you to keep it playing in the background. It sounds so
What do you
good.
know about Joe Walsh?
I don't know about it.
This song is about Buddy's
Kidding
life.
me?
Let me tell you something, buddy. By the time this song came out in 1977 or
He was
78,
singing with London Ronstadt long time before that, so.
1978, good call.
70, I know it was 77 or 78 because I had the 45.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Hotel California and all that stuff, too.
Yeah, but this was after Joe Walsh walked away from the Eagles.
I know, but I said I go back with Joe,
Rocky
those
Mountain
guys
Way.
when she discovered them.
Yeah, they were her backup band.
Right, exactly.
That's what people don't realize. The Eagles, one of the greatest bands
Don't come
ever,
with any Eagles
was
stuff on me
Linda
now, sorry,
Ronstadt's
so you-
backup band.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Yeah.
Here we go. Tweets and quotes. You know, one thing I really admire is people who are able to be good listeners. And kudos to you guys for being good listeners during the Dr. Buddy segment. I love it when people are listening. Here's a great quote to remember. Somebody named Scott Ginsburg said, listening is not waiting to talk.
Yes.
Anybody who ever conducts an interview, and I talk to college kids, I always say to them, don't use an interview so you can set up your next question. Listen to what the people say and actually respond to it and ask follow-up questions. Number 2, you guys like this. This is anonymous. All hockey players, where's Austin? All hockey players are bilingual. They know English and profanity.
And probably some Eastern European language.
Yeah. And here's one from one of your favorites, Tom, Irma Bombay. When my kids become wild and unruly, I use a nice, safe playpen. When they're finished, I climb out. Coming up to the sports hour, we're going to revisit our
John
Gruden, our interview with John Gruden, and the interview that was taking place in the Gateway Bank. Actually, it wasn't our interview; it was an interview that was done by the audience. We got some bites from that, and we'll talk about the new BCS standings. Franz Beard will weigh in. We'll discuss the big game JJ's all excited about. Florida State and Miami. The Canes are 22-point underdogs.
More nervous than excited.
Well, you should be. It's a good. It's a tough task. Tough task. And some of the big performances over the weekend. How about Duke knocking off Virginia Tech?
Yes.
What a win for the Blue Devils. All that coming up next right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. Streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mama who never was around, but she grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on an Indiana night.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today. Having the motivation and making the commitment to quit smoking is a great first step towards becoming smoke-free. However, anyone who's tried to quit smoking knows how challenging it can be. Having the determination to quit may not be enough. You may need some help. If you're ready to quit smoking and are between the ages of 18 and 75, currently smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day, and can commit to participating for 24 weeks, you may be interested in a research study which is being conducted to evaluate the use of investigational drugs to see if they can aid individuals in their quest to quit smoking. To help you quit, smoking cessation counseling and all study-related medical care will be provided at no extra cost. You may also be reimbursed for your travel time. To receive more information about this study, how you can participate, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala, 352-629-5800.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit habitatocala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, building homes, building hope, building community.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Here's an intelligent tip for you. Just say anything as long as you say something. Got it? This is the rule when it comes to job interviews. Putting animals on a diet may not help them lose weight, because if your pet is turning to food as a way of coping with their emotions, restricting that food will only make them more unhappy. You need to get out of a funk? Then do this. It's very simple. Ready? Help somebody else. That's it.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA. You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Now, I'm Joan Bennett. New abortion restrictions passed by the Texas legislature that were to take effect tomorrow were ruled unconstitutional today by a federal judge in Austin. Lawyers for Planned Parenthood argued the regulations didn't protect women and would shut down a third of the abortion clinics in Texas. The ruling will likely be appealed. The government's working 24/7 to fix the long list of problems plaguing healthcare.gov. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services are on it. A ride operator being held in jail in connection with last week's mishap at the North Carolina State Fair. 46-year-old Timothy Tutterow is charged with 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon for allegedly tampering with the ride that started up while people were exiting. 3 people are still hospitalized. American Academy of Pediatrics says today's kids are plugged into TVs, computers, and cell phones an average of 8 hours a day, and that's too much. This is ABC News.
Get it started. I sell shoes online, so if our IT system isn't up and running, neither are we. That's why I love the new Services Center at Office Max. They picked the perfect IT support plan for us. Experts on call 24/7, maintenance, troubleshooting, the works. They've got my back, and I got your feet.
Save 50% now when you sign up for 3 months of premium or platinum on-call tech support, including McAfee virus protection at the new Office Max Services Center. Details in-store or at officemax.com/services.
An official message from Medicare. It's that time of year again.
Football season.
Medicare open enrollment season, October 15th through December 7th. Time to compare plans, see what's new.
But I like what I have.
You don't have to change, but it's always good to look. You could find better coverage, save money, or both. Where you going?
The game.
The computer.
Okay.
Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE. Now's the time.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the Full House at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
Welcome to Buddy Sports Page on a Monday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Glad to have you along. Glad to have you folks passing by out front of the Paddock Mall. And we've got sports to talk about this hour. Lots of good games this weekend. Really not good because there were some that were just total massacres. A college game, every time you flipped the dial, there was another rout someplace. Either Ohio State was routing somebody or FSU was routing somebody or Alabama routing somebody. And then we got down to the Saturday night and the South Carolina-Missouri game. Was such an entertaining game. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that game, and what a comeback by the Gamecocks, and Steve Spurrier redeeming himself somewhat for messing things up against Tennessee, knocking off the number 5 team in the nation. Of course, the Gators were off this past weekend; they didn't lose, and JJ's beloved Hurricanes. Talk about a scare there, man.
Couple weeks in a row, buddy.
Well, this one here in particular would have hurt.
This was not a bad played game by the Hurricanes.
Actually, Wake Forest to the night.
Right.
Jim Grove was a good coach. He did.
There was really no turnovers by the Hurricanes. Wake Forest, the whole first half of the game, the first quarter alone, they only allowed Miami 1 minute of time of possession. They went on a 9-minute drive to start the game. So they kept it close the whole time, held Miami to field goal, and they missed them. Miami went forward and fourth down, missed a couple times, and it took them one last drive at the end of the game, which a lot of these top 5, top 10 teams are losing. So winning close is not a bad thing this year.
The mark of a really good team, you're all going to have one bad game.
Right.
If you can get the ball at the end and finish the business,
Correct.
and take the ball in the drive and win the game, I don't care if it's but a point or a field goal, that's a maturing team.
Exactly. Stephen Morris is able to win those games, something that Ja'Cory Harris and some of the other Miami quarterbacks the last few years have not been able to do.
You see the great ones like Peyton. He got down bad on Sunday.
They looked good.
They looked like they were going to get hammered by the Redskins, and they came back big time. And, you just know when the onus is on you, you have to get it done. Elway had a remarkable record of comebacks. And I asked you one time, don't you just really love that when it gets down to the end of the game and you got the ball and you got to come back and score a touchdown to win? He said, no, I hate it. I said, why? He said, because there's so much pressure.
Yeah.
There's a ton of pressure. So really good teams find a way to come back and win. And, I think South Carolina is a better team than what they played against Tennessee, and they proved it. And Connor Shaw, in my opinion, his stock went way up. What a courageous young man. And if he could have run the ball, he'd have done even better. So the Canes win.
And the Gators, by the way, not out of the SEC East hunt.
Yeah, but they're out of it.
I know. It's just an absurd thing. That's how crazy the East is this year.
I know. And the worst thing about it is the SEC teams knocking each other off.
Yes.
So, we said Oregon started slow, blew out UCLA.
But
Alabama
didn't look too impressive. Tied 14-14 at halftime. But that offense just really winds you. It tears you down.
You know what? You don't realize what's taking place till you look at the numbers.
Right.
You realize that Mariota has not had a pick this year? Not one.
They run the ball a lot.
But they throw the ball a lot, too. Look at their stats. They throw it a lot. He has not had an interception all year.
You know what didn't impress me about Oregon? Never their offense. But their defense had a ton of missed tackles, and I don't know. It's hard for me. We don't see a lot of Oregon, so when I only see 1 or 2 games a year and they don't look that great, it's hard for me to pick them over Florida State, who I do watch all the time, who looked super impressive on Saturday. The score looked a lot closer than it was. They were up 35-0 at the end of the first quarter.
But, JJ, saying Oregon's defense is not that good is like saying Sofia Vergara has a pimple on her nose. Come on, man. They're still a good-looking team.
Their offense put up 555 yards.
I know. I'm not a huge Oregon. That's Tom's team. Tom was a big Oregon fan. He picked them last year. I won't tell you who he picked this year. But Oregon, I got to give it up. But yet somehow they can never quite get there. Is this the year? Well, maybe it might be. What's in the headlines, JJ?
Well, there is some baseball, something called the World Series going on last night, this weekend. A couple very close games this weekend. But last night, 4-2 Red Sox. Huge home run by Johnny Gomes, I believe, in the 6th inning. O'Hara picked a guy off at first to end the game. Pretty good ending. So now it's 2-2 going into tonight, Game 5. This is the last game that will be in St. Louis, so they need a win. 8:07 first pitch. And Shane Victorino is out tonight, so that's pretty big. And we just talked about Florida State and how they're number 3 now in the BCS. Oregon overtaking them last night. Florida State's coach doesn't believe they're the number 1 team. Jimbo Fisher, in his latest coaching poll rankings, didn't pick Florida State number 1.
How about that?
Yeah.
He's probably smart.
Yeah.
You don't care about being number 1 right now. You care
Exactly.
about it being in a couple of weeks or months.
And in the golf world, Tiger Woods is basically asking the Golf Channel for Brandel Chambly's firing or something like that. He put the heat on the Golf Channel by saying it's all in your court right now, basically. Even though Chambly did apologize, so you thought that might have been the last of it, but I don't think Tiger's happy with just that.
Legal apology. Tom, let's get Mr. Golf's weigh in on this after the break. Let's just revisit that story. What did take place? People say, what are you talking about? And we'll review this and talk about Brandel Chambly, former player. Golf Channel has criticized Tiger Woods, and we touched upon it again.
All but called him a cheater.
Right. So we come back, we'll review that and talk about it and weigh in what's the right thing here and how do we feel about this and whose side you on, or as they say now, who you got. We'll pick sides on the Chambly Tiger Woods thing, and we'll hear from the former coach of the Tampa Bay Bucks, and maybe we think a possibility, a future coach of Tampa Bay Bucks, if things go the way, if we can read body language at all time, what we saw Friday, perhaps the next coach of the Buccaneers. We'll get his sound bites. We'll talk about that. Talk more about college and the pros, and looking ahead to the big weekend with the Canes and the Noles and the Bulldogs and the Gators all coming your way right here next on the Voice of Ocala Buddy Sports page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Dr. Seaborn Hunt, a board-certified ophthalmologist, is your comprehensive medical, laser, and surgical eye care specialist for Marion, Lake, and Sumter counties. He offers services for cataract surgery, diabetes, glaucoma, macular degeneration, dry eyes, as well as a routine comprehensive eye exam. Call 873-7200 for an appointment today. No referral needed. Dr. Hunt accepts Medicare as well as most insurance plans and files the claims for you. Dr. Hunt has performed thousands of successful procedures. Call Dr. Hunt at 873-7200. That's 873-7200.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Your home for Florida State football all season long. WOCA, The Source.
Howdy folks, RL here. I want to tell you about the best $5 bargain anywhere. For a limited time, Dairy Queen at Silver Springs is offering a sandwich or chicken strips, fries, a medium drink, and a sundae for only $5 till 4 p.m. And new on the menu is the Orange Julius line of real fruit smoothies, including protein smoothies. Our fresh-made garden salads go great with a fruit smoothie. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, less proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000, 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
All right, coming up in just a couple minutes, we'll hear from John Gruden, who was here in town on Friday at the Gateway Athletic Club speaking engagement for Interfaith, raised a nice amount of money for Interfaith. Did it gratis, by the way, and I think made a lot of fans in Ocala. And it was very funny, very good. We'll hear some of that in just a minute. For those who didn't hear earlier, get well to Kerry McDonald, a former coach, the program director for the Ocala Quarterback Club, and longtime Ocalan, well-known former state president of the Florida Athletic Coaches Association, had an accident and broke his femur. got a couple of calls here at the stadium about Carey, and he had surgery on his femur, and he was briefly in Monroe, and now he's going to going to the Life Care Center of Ocala. I don't have the address of that, but it's called the Life Care Center. If you folks want to send Kerry McDonald a card, that's where he is. Also, as a result of that, Kerry won't be at the Wednesday night quarterback club meeting where David Lamb, our old buddy, is speaking. So our friend Wes Wheeler has asked if I would come and introduce David. And like David said, well, I've been speaking there 25 years. Nobody needs to introduce me. I said, I know, David, but I said, I was asked to come and introduce you. Believe me, it's not a task I'm looking forward to, but I will do that. Kidding about my friend David, who I've known forever. And, of course, his number one fan, Tom Schmitz,
that's my
also
guy.
Is his surrogate father. Tom is going to be a guest because he can also get a free meal. So he'll be there for that.
No, that's pretty much the only reason.
Yeah,
I can see Lamb anytime I want to just go to Jacksonville.
Well, you get free food in Jacksonville, too. So.
You've been with Lamb before. You pick up the tab when you eat with Lamb.
Yeah, the man looks like he can eat.
David can eat, and he's been known to have a brew. So there you go.
A brew?
Yeah. Well, I'll use that term loosely. Let's talk about before we hear from John Gruden, let's talk about the Tiger Woods issue, because I think it cuts to the core of values. It also cuts to the core of media versus athlete and truth versus
what you should be allowed to say and what you are allowed to say.
Within reason.
Basically.
And I've got to say to you, as a journalist, it does come close to the line. Because when you talk about impugning a person's integrity, you're opening yourself up for a lawsuit. You can call them any name in the world you want to. But if you accuse somebody of doing something illegal or immoral, it's a grounds for a lawsuit. So therefore, Tom Schmitz, also known as Mr. Golf, will now review this situation, catches up to what's going on, and will offer an opinion about it.
All right, well, Brandel Chambly wrote a article for golf.com, a column for golf.com, in which he gave Tiger Woods an F for his 5-win season because of a series of rules violations. Chambly wrote that Woods was a little cavalier with the rules, and then he made an analogy that about the time his fourth grade teacher crossed out 100 and gave him an F for cheating on a math test. So the insinuation was that Brandel Chambly, while not saying Tiger cheated, he insinuated with the story about his fourth grade teacher that he was cheating, that he was at least cavalier with the rules. Well, Tiger's lawyer, his agent, Mark Steinberg, went to ESPN.com and raised the possibility of legal actions. Now, Tiger this week, when asked about it before a exhibition, Roy McIlroy said, I'm ready to move forward. It's up to the Golf Channel and what they're prepared to do. Pretty much saying, without saying, he's insinuated, just like he says Brandel Chambly insinuated he cheated, Tiger's insinuating that the Golf Channel better fire him. Well, I'm sorry. Brandel Chambly gave his opinion as a well-known and long-standing media member that covers golf. Former golfer, too, by the way. Former PGA Tour player. And he said Tiger Woods was a little cavalier with the rules. Did he step up to the line right there where he gave the analogy of the fourth grade teacher? Quite possibly. But when you say he's cavalier with the rules, let's go back and review what happened. Woods was given a 2-shot penalty in Dubai for taking relief from an embedded ball in a sandy area covered with vegetation.
So he broke the rules.
Right.
So a person who breaks the rules is what?
Hold on.
Is what?
They're cheating.
Okay. That's what I'm going to say. Go ahead.
Yeah. Augusta National gave him a 2-shot penalty for taking the wrong drop in the second round of the Masters. Mm-hmm. PGA Tour gave him a 2-shot penalty after his second round of the BMW Championship when evidence showed his ball moved slightly. Tiger, after seeing the video, said it didn't move, it just oscillated. If something oscillates, doesn't it move?
Well, there is that fine line. Oscillating actually is legal.
I know.
As you know, you are Mr. Golf.
Right, I know,
you would know that.
But he said, it slightly moved, it only oscillated. I know there's a difference according to golf. And then there's a bunch of people on the internet that think the drop Woods took on the 14th hole of Sawgrass in the final round of the Players' Championship was wrong, although he did check with Casey Wittenberg, his playing partner, who said that was the correct spot to drop too. But in a situation like that, when you've had these violations, why not call the rules official in to get him to say whether it's the proper place to drop instead of your playing partner? I know that's not standard. Standard is ask your playing partner. But there has been some cavalier attitude by Tiger Woods throughout his career
with the rules. And now I feel like Tiger Woods thinks he's so much above the game of golf that now he can dictate who can and cannot say anything critical about him and his golf game. And that steps way over out of bounds to me, much farther out of bounds than what Brandel Chamblee did.
Okay, so does this outweigh your comment that you don't like the fact people can call in and squeal on people's on TV?
I still don't like,
because you're on the record as saying you don't like
that they can call in and squeal on him. But when he moved the ball in the sandy vegetation, that wasn't somebody calling in. Somebody saw that and reported it.
True.
When the ball oscillated, when it moved, they saw that on video evidence. Now the Masters was somebody called in. But if these things are caught on the course and he's penalized, there's proof he takes a little
liberty.
He takes liberty with the rules. And this is not a game that lends itself to taking liberty with the rules. There's no such thing as improving your lie like Ted Knight did as Judge Schmales in Caddyshack, where he said, "One tie shoot this morning, 68. Really?" And he kicks the ball 8 feet back out of the fairway.
I never sliced.
The difference between what Tiger Woods did when he moved the ball, and the one that really gets me is the embedded ball in the sandy area. When he said he had to move it. His explanation was, I had to move it to identify my ball. Well, the rule says you got to put it back in the embedded mark. Once you identify it as your ball, you got to put it right back in that mark.
Right, so,
that's cheating if you don't do that.
So you're with Chamblee on this one.
I've always been with Brandel Chamblee. I think Tiger Woods takes liberty with the rules of golf in a game where taking liberties with the rules is a huge no-no. Bobby Jones would never have done something like that.
JJ, what's your thoughts on it?
I think that Tiger just needs to stop telling the media world what they can and can't say about him. He didn't call him a cheater. He did, obviously, yeah. But that still doesn't mean, by telling a story about in your fourth grade class how you got a F when you should have got 100, but that she caught you cheating, that doesn't mean Tiger should go out and write at ESPN.com, and his lawyer should make all these claims that, we're thinking about suing them. And now he's saying, okay, golf.com or Golf Channel, you have to basically fire this guy. It's just a jerk move. That's all it is to me. It comes down to being I'm not going to say he's a bad person, but just being a normal person. This is what the guy does for a living. You did kind of cheat a couple times.
You were definitely cavalier with the rules.
So it is what it is. Don't get the man fired when he already had to do his embarrassing fake apology for you.
And it really was a fake apology.
You already made the man do something like that. Took his pride away from him by making him apologize when he doesn't want to, and now you want to take the job away
Mark
from him.
Steinberg's the one he's even worse. He says, I'm done talking about it just like Tiger is. Now it's in the hand of the Golf Channel. That's Tiger's view, and that's my view. All we want to do is move forward. Whether the Golf Channel moves forward as well, we'll wait and see.
All right, let's let Austin weigh in, roll on a quick thought here.
I definitely agree with you guys. I think Tiger's out of hand, but not quite sure if this relates to this incident, but EA Sports will no longer use Tiger Woods for its golf game. They've had Tiger Woods as their main figure. It's always been Tiger Woods, PGA Tour 12, PGA Tour 13. There was one game.
They had European Tour and PGA Tour before Tiger.
Yes.
But for the last
10
years.
15 years.
There was one game
Tiger
in the
Woods.
midst when he was going through all his troubles that it was the Masters tournament,
Right.
and not Tiger Woods game. But now EA Sports not going to use Tiger Woods.
Because he's just a jerk, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to weigh in on this now, and it might surprise you a little bit. First of all, this is not brand new with a star player having a bully pulpit.
No.
It was a standing joke in Arnold Palmer's days. Anytime he got a rules official, it was going to go his way. That's just kind of how it was. They were all going to go with Arnold Palmer. So he uses the bully pulpit without question. The second thing is that you're talking about a guy playing poorly. You're talking about a guy, not being competitive. You're talking about anything you want to in terms of his game, and even to the point where his personal life has been disgraceful. You talk about that. When you talk about the integrity of a golfer, that's everything.
That cuts to the core of what the game is.
Everything what the game is about, and therefore it's a much more serious cause than saying that he had,
Pine tar.
He likes
is
sleaze
that.
bags for girls or whatever it is, you know.
Right.
So this is a serious issue, and so I understand how you have to protect what image he has left.
Right.
Which, by the way, is taking a pretty bad blow of the brand.
Certainly.
All right, so I get that. Having said that, I have been victimized by Tiger Woods.
Yes, you have.
Personally, because I had a job at a golf tournament in Colorado that if Tiger Woods had supported would still be there, and I'd still be doing every summer going to Colorado, the International. Because he chose not to play in it, and that's his right. I don't have that job, and my tournament's closed down, and the people who put all the money in that got hurt by it. And the fact is that he wound up 2 months later announcing he took that date for his own tournament.
Right.
That's kind of disconcerting. So those are my feelings about it. I admit that's personal. Nothing to do with this. I would defend the right of Brandel Chambly to say anything short of he is a cheater, and he did come short of that. So my ruling on this, I think I'm good with Brandel Chambly on this.
And who is Tiger? What incenses me the most about this is who is Tiger Woods to think that he can go to the Golf Channel and say, we're waiting to see what you do. Like, you better do something.
Right.
Or what?
It's a veiled threat.
Or what?
Not even veiled. Yeah, right. Exactly.
What are you going to do, Tiger Woods? You're not going to give the Golf Channel interviews?
You already don't.
No, he gives the Golf Channels some interviews. Kelly, what's her name?
Yeah, she's the one who's just the anchor.
Right, the anchor. He talked to her, but he pretty much only talks to Tom Rinaldi now anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who works for ESPN, by the way.
What's it matter? What's he going to do? People are still going to watch the Golf Channel. The Golf Channel's still going to broadcast golf tournaments.
Oh, believe me, he'll have some way of hurting him. Believe me. He'll have some way of hurting him. There's ways they can do things.
But what gets me is he thinks that he's bigger than the game of golf.
He's not. He might have been at one time almost, but he's not now.
Nobody's bigger than the game of golf.
I understand that, but there's times when he was as big. Well, I just gave an example of how I became victimized by Tiger Woods.
But do you think Arnold Palmer would ever say he
Absolutely
was bigger
not.
than the game?
But that's a different day, a different athlete, different times. They got more clout now, and Arnold Palmer had a lot than ever before. Economically, they
have hundreds of millions of dollars at stake.
Almost put you out of business, and in fact did. So there you go. So it's kind of how it is. Okay. We didn't get to John Gruden, but we'll do that next. And, I always thought maybe John Gruden might be a great choice for somebody like Texas or USC, but that's probably not going to happen. We'll tell you why next right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little bit of something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Here's an intelligent tip for you. Just say anything as long as you say something. Got it? This is the rule when it comes to job interviews. Putting animals on a diet may not help them lose weight, because if your pet is turning to food as a way of coping with their emotions, restricting that food will only make them more unhappy. You need to get out of a funk? Then do this. It's very simple. Ready? Help somebody else. That's it.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
State of professional football in Florida, not too good these days. The Dolphins are completely blowing the game, number one. And then you got the beautiful performance by the Bucks and the Jaguars.
Thursday night.
Yeah.
Jaguars in London spreading the greatness overseas.
The NFL wants to make
inroads
into London.
Don't bring.
Why are you sending Jacksonville?
Yeah, really.
They'll send the Niners.
Please, no football here. Yeah, for sure. The thing about them is that I love the Gruden quote. We probably didn't get this one, but he did say when asked about the situation with Tebow, he said, "Well, I see what they got so far. If I was the owners, I'd be rolling out a red carpet for Tebow."
Right.
So it's a mess. Speaking of John Gruden and football, and by the way, we come back. Let's talk about Matthew Stafford. What a great play he made on the goal line yesterday. Talk about a gutsy one. Because if he doesn't make that play, he's a goat. But what a great play!
He's a big dummy.
Terrific comeback and the total collapse for the Cowboys. So, meanwhile, John Gruden was in town on Friday at the Gateway Athletic Club. Very delightful guy. We all enjoyed him, I think. And I've been to, hundreds of these kinds of things. And, I can take him or leave him. But every now and then you get a really good one. I thought John Gruden was one of the better ones.
Who's the worst, buddy, that you can say?
The worst speaker?
Yes, famous.
Oh, man, I have to go. There's a long list of them. I'll think about it.
Name a guy who's dead.
I'd have to think about it. There's some bad ones.
Okay.
A couple of them are
that interests me better than who's the good ones.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that for a minute. There have been some really deadly dull ones, believe me, where you're sitting there just thinking, please say something interesting. But anyway, he was excellent. And, JJ, we have a series of cuts here. What's the first one about, JJ?
The first one is on him getting fired and how he made his way into broadcast.
Let's hear from John Gruden.
We had just beaten Kansas City. I think it was 2007, my last year. And one of the owners called me up in front of the team. We beat them in overtime. It was a heck of a win. And he gave me a game ball. Hey, Coach Gruden, you're the winningest head coach or winningest coach in Buccaneer history. The guy gave me a game ball. The players cheered. I got on the plane, had a beer. I felt pretty good. The next week, we beat New Orleans. Now we're 9-3. Same owner gave me another game ball. Your 100th career victory. Congratulations. 4 weeks later, some bitch fired me. So So I got into broadcasting. I haven't lost a game in 3.5 years. I'm undefeated.
Stand-up comedy there. That's pretty funny. And we apologize for the little, the word. But, I mean, heck, it's just the way coaches talk sometimes. And that just shows you the relaxed nature that Gruden had. And how he was, JJ, you liked it because he was so open and you used the word candid. I think that's what you love to go. When you go to these things, you hear these speeches, these talks.
Speech.
I don't want to hear a locker room talk,
No.
pep talk. I want to hear a guy talk.
Exactly.
And so we had a couple of bites. What's the second one,
This
JJ?
one's
Set it
on
up.
his interest in college coaching at the time.
Yeah, like I said, I thought maybe he might be a good candidate.
Right.
For
his name always comes up.
For Texas or USC, but I
Right.
guess we can kind of maybe shoot that one down. Let's hear from John Gruden again.
Well, that's what happened when I got fired. I was so mad at the NFL, I was going to be a college coach. So I went to Oregon. I spent a week with Chip Kelly. I went to Alabama, spent 4 or 5 days with Coach Saban just to see how two successful programs do it at a totally different, process. But then I started hanging around my teenage boys, and I said, there's no way I'm going to hang out with you these guys. That's tough, man. Can't deal with that.
Yeah, so the best one, which I understand was picked up all over the country and the internet, and I asked the question simply about Steve Spurrier and what he thought of him and his ability to adapt to different offenses and what have you. And this is the best bite of the day from John Gruden last Friday at Gateway Bank with Ron Zook. Here's what he had to say.
Spurrier could work himself. He could make first down if he had 7 guys, I think. Best way to sum him up, he's a crazy son of a bitch. I got to South Carolina. I spent 3 days with him, and I was a speaker at his clinic. And he run a series of plays with a no-back set, empty formation, 5 eligibles out in the route. And there's about 2 or 3 plays I couldn't understand, but the receiver is always wide open. So I asked Steve to explain it to me. Not even he could explain it to me. He says, all I know is the guy's open and we're going to get him the handball. You talk about a great coach. What he's done at South Carolina, I never thought I'd see happen in the SEC. 11 wins, 2 years in a row, and he's a great guy, too.
All right, so after you hear that, JJ, what do you think? I'd like to have a beer with this guy, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
I loved him. He was awesome, man.
Yeah, and again, going back to our comments, Tom, when someone brought up coaching in the Bucs, what did we see?
You just saw a different look, like a little gleam in his eye and like a little smile, like almost like he entertains the idea of going back to Tampa.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he told you, we played it on Friday, I believe, that he's definitely open to coaching again. He'll be back.
Yeah. If you play that tape out, he says in there publicly, and Ron Zook said he was surprised because it's the first time he said this publicly. He said, from the day that I got fired, I made a plan to come back, and now he says, I really want to coach again. So he's thinking about it.
It's been a lot longer than you think. 2007, right?
No, 3.5 years, whatever that is. So
3.5 years.
Yeah, so whatever that comes out to be, so it would only be to 2009 probably. Seems longer though, JJ. You're right, it does. So let's talk about the Detroit Lions and Megatron and Matthew Stafford. Did you guys see the highlights of that game?
I watched the game.
I watched
2008.
I sadly watched the game.
2008. Okay. I mean, let's face.
Oh yeah, he's a Cowboys fan, by the way, for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, amazingly, how much chance would you have given Matthew Stafford and the Lions coming back to win that game?
Zero.
Zero.
Me and my friends went outside to smoke a cigarette because we knew it was over. We get back inside, and they're showing these crazy highlights of Matt Stafford somehow getting the ball into the end zone, faking a spike. They got the ball back with like 40-something seconds left, I believe. And then all hell breaks loose on the Dallas Cowboys sideline. You got Des Bryant, who was calling out Calvin Johnson before the game, and then Calvin Johnson puts up a fresh 300 and, a billion yards on him. And so Des Bryant and Jason Witten started getting into it. The defense just totally choked at the end. It's just trouble in Dallas right now.
Des Bryant going ballistic there.
Yes.
And his quarterback later defending him. Tom Schmitz, did it remind you of anything you ever seen before?
haven't we seen Terrell Owens do that kind of thing on the sideline?
Not that. I'm talking about the quarterback situation. I want to explain to people why this is. If you didn't see it,
the fake spike.
They have no timeouts left.
Right.
They're running down the field to spike the ball at the 1 yard line.
Right.
With under 20 seconds to go. They're scrambling just to get to the line of scrimmage.
Didn't Tebow do something like that?
No, it wasn't him. Well, he may have done something similar to that, but
Marino?
Yes, Marino. He actually threw a pass for a touchdown.
Right.
But the thing is, if you look at the replay, a couple of the guys on defense were still standing up.
Oh my God! They were. Listen, and everybody on offense just stood still, but you still expect the people on defense, to think he could easily just walk this into the end zone right now. Yeah,
that's one of coaching film they'll keep forever. You can't sit there.
And even when he reaches over the line and you're not sure if he quite gets it, he still barrels around the line and just walks into the end zone while these defensive ends are staring at him like he's insane.
And this is your free shot on the quarterback.
Yes.
Take it.
Get rid of that ball.
He has no offensive lineman blocking for him because they're trying to sell this. Knock him out.
Yeah.
One of the more exciting plays I've seen in the NFL.
623 total yards given up by Dallas's defense yesterday.
And how much? 329 from Megatron. Second highest ever in the NFL.
Dallas had 0 turnovers. Detroit had 5.
And they still won.
That's amazing.
Only second time in NFL history a team with difference of 4 turnovers has won the NFL.
Incredible. Yeah. Okay, let's talk World Series. Got a couple minutes before we got to go to break. All right, tonight, Game 5, last chance to the Cardinals. What a great venue for baseball, the Cardinals there.
Both these
love
stadiums.
that stadium. Both of them. And Fenway's more like a ping pong.
Oh, man, they've been smashing them.
Incredible. But
Lester versus Wainwright tonight. Two top ace pitchers.
Yeah, it's becoming now to a point where we're getting interested. Even my 6-year-old-to-be
when
grandson.
you're tied after 4, it's getting interesting.
Problem is staying up late. I couldn't make it last night, and I taped it, and I went to bed, and I woke up, and I found out that my DVR had stopped at 12 o'clock. Because it's
you got to go like an hour later.
I know. I didn't put the extra on it, but my grandson gets to watch the replays now, and of course they lived in Boston for a while, or his mother did. She wears a Red Sox hat, and this morning when I called at 7:30, she called. Alexander was watching the replay of the home run. And
Johnny
tonight,
Gomes.
Johnny Gomes home run.
Former Tampa Ray.
Yes, that's right, Jay. Yeah, I forgot. He was a Tampa Ray. And here's the deal. Tonight, he gets to watch the first couple innings, the first pitch at 8:07. Alexander and I will watch his Red Sox. By the way, I think I picked him, didn't I?
Yes, we all did, except for Thomas.
I'm sticking for
Which, by the way, David Ortiz making a couple good picks over at first, I noticed.
He did.
Making people forget that he's not a real fielder.
Is there any doubt David Ortiz, the Big Papi, is the man?
Love him.
What
He's
an
just a great
incredible
character
series.
for the game.
At one point, he had third of the hits of the 21 hits, 7. I mean, got a couple last night, right? I think he got a couple. He got one, I know. I saw that. So, Red Sox tonight in Game 5. It's getting serious. Now we start watching a little baseball.
Big Papi, 3 for 3 last night.
3 for 3. Wow. And there's guess what? And getting back to Fenway, he's going to go yard there.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to happen.
He's hitting them over
over the Green Monster.
He never goes to left field.
Exactly. So, all right, let's go ahead and take our break now. Coming up, Franz Beard, we'll talk a little more about college football. JJ is excited about the big showdown in Tallahassee. And you're going, JJ, right?
Correct.
So you'll be there to watching your I fear for you.
It's one of those games where you don't want to sit through a beatdown, but if you're not there when they win, you know what I'm saying? Like,
never forgive yourself.
By the way, I just on a just goof looked on StubHub yesterday.
Right. Because I did think about selling my $80 tickets.
Tickets in the upper deck, way upper deck end zone.
I don't even want to hear it.
$195.
That's not. See, I'd only be making about $100.
JJ may change his mind and watch HDTV.
Yeah.
You may go to a sports bar in Tallahassee and watch the game.
Yeah.
All I got to say to you, if
you're outside the stadium, you could sell those a lot
JJ,
more.
if you're going to Tallahassee with expectations of a victory,
I'm not.
No, wait a minute. No, I represent, man. Represent. I had a lot of respect for you because this is a tough one.
Yeah.
And just remember when you come home, I had an old friend who used to say to me all the time, well, we had the fun of going.
I'm going to have fun either way.
Take a break, come back. We'll catch up at the Franz Beard next right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of Kinetic Motion Fitness here in Ocala, Florida. A lot of you have experienced our great classes in personal small group training, but did you know we now offer dynamic workouts on DVD? These high-quality, locally produced, effective DVD workouts can go where you go. Going on vacation? No problem. We can go with you. Friends and relatives out of town who are jealous that you get to come to KMF? No problem. We ship anywhere in the United States for free. Our great lineup of 4 DVDs includes Kinetic Achieve, Kinetic Couples, Kinetic Core, and Kinetic Campus. 4 great workouts for the entire family on DVD. Sound interesting? Check them out on our website at kmfocala.com. While you're there, check out our class schedule and come see us. We're only 5 minutes from downtown across from the Skylark Plaza. Visit kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. KMF will get you results at our studio or at home with one of our DVDs. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are. Visit kmfocala.com for more information.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed rate allowance.
Warning, there's been a zombie outbreak in Marion County.
Do you feel like a zombie in your old car? Are you embarrassed to be seen driving around town? Are your monthly payments sucking the life out of you?
You may be driving dead. Hey, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. If you're driving dead, I've got the cure. All you need is $13 down to drive alive in a nicer, newer car today.
Why drive a car that rots your brain when you can drive a car that's not a pain?
Put just $13 down and feel alive in a nicer, newer ride. Plus, my guaranteed credit approval process could bring you back to life. Even if bad credit has held you back in the past, I'm saving Marion County residents from driving dead.
So trade in your terrifying old ride, bring in $13 to put down, and drive home today.
I believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car, and this week it only takes $13. But hurry, this offer ends once we've revived 47 drivers. My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See our Prestige.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Andrew Clavin. He's an award-winning author whose best-selling novel, True Crime, was filmed by Clint Eastwood. He's got a new book. It's called Nightmare City, a young adult action novel.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-size.
And then Carol Ann Baldwin will be answering your questions about your garden on her show, You've Got a Garden.
Jerry the Debt Lady Simpson is an executive trainer and a motivational speaker. She'll be speaking about her book, Lose 100 Pounds of Debt Weight. Learn how to trim that credit card fat.
And then Joe Reichel will be in the studio from Damage Control Services. He'll be telling you what he does when he gets a call from somebody who's had a misfortune with their home.
Dr. Sidney Jacoby is the Associate Professor of Orthopedic Surgery at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. He'll be speaking about the initial signs and symptoms of Dupuytren's contracture, a condition where you can't straighten your fingers.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information.
All right, final segment of the day, finishing up with Franz Beard, who will weigh in on all things Gator. Franz, how are you?
Well, it's Florida-Georgia week, and gosh, it just doesn't seem like some of the Florida-Georgia weeks we went through back in the last few years.
It certainly doesn't, Franz. It seems totally different. And quite frankly, these teams have been sort of, their fortunes have been misdirected, shall we say that? Looked like a long time ago. Not long ago, people were saying Georgia could win the national championship. and then look, their whole season fell apart, obviously with injuries. Gators, of course, another story. We know their situation. And the question becomes now, can Will Muschamp dig this thing out, friends?
Well, this is a week certainly to prove himself, and the good thing is it is a rivalry week, and rivalry games tend to bring out the best in teams, usually so. And if there's ever a week when Will Muschamp needed to bring out the best in his team, this is it. It would be a great time for him to rally the troops, circle the wagons, whatever you want to call it, and get them fired up to go out there and play an outstanding football game. I think he needs it. I think this team needs it. And I think the fans really need it. I think Florida's fans are really in need of the Gators coming through with a solid performance and a winning performance, particularly against Georgia. Against all teams, the one he used to play for, and how this comes a really critical game for him. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't see any way Florida, I don't say they can win. They're only 3-point underdogs, but they're going to have to get some offense. And Georgia's defense can be had, and Florida's defense is pretty good against Murray, but I don't see how they can beat Georgia. Am I wrong? Well, they can win this game. There's no question they can win this game. Vanderbilt held Georgia to 104 yards passing a couple weeks ago. So it's possible, but you're going to have to get a pass rush, and you're going to have to figure out a way to stop the run. And especially they've got the big boy coming back this week in Todd Gurley. Yeah, Gurley's an animal. He can really run the football. They're going to have to figure out a way to stop him. If they can figure out a way to stop him, then they've got a chance to stop Murray. But if Gurley is able to gash them, they got play action going for him, and Murray will pick them apart. So it all starts with that front four and the front four on the defensive line, and then the three linebackers. If they get the job done, then Florida's got a chance. If they don't get the job done, Florida gets killed. This is the kind of game that we've had surprises over the years, going all the way back to the first time college football ever had four wides was in this game when Mike Shanahan was coach of Charlie Pell. He broke this out, and the first time it had ever been seen. We go back to the days of Urban Meyer, when Urban Meyer promised that they would to make a point, they would pay Georgia back for the year previous when Georgia stormed the end zone, if you remember that. And what did he do? Timeout with 44 seconds left after a 14-yard run by Emmanuel Moody, and then Moody gets 17 on the next carry, and Meyer called out timeout again. And the lasting image I have of that is Mark Richt and the entire Georgia staff looking up there at the clock and seeing 30 seconds left, and Meyer just called a second timeout. Yeah, he wanted to say, look at the scoreboard, this is payback. Of course, he never would admit that, but we knew going in because he had said he was going to do something. He just wouldn't say what. So those days, I don't know what happened tomorrow. Georgia comes out with the black jerseys one year. Maybe it's time for a little showmanship or something. I don't have any idea. Maybe they'll come out with another formation. Maybe Brent Peace will come out with some kind of wild formation on that he's made up on Saturday. But something, they need something to get them jump started for sure. Fans, we got about 30 seconds. Billy Donovan will be on the show Thursday, just prior to the time you come on. And in fact, we'll talk to him about basketball. Did you hear anything about the scrimmage they had? Well, Florida won the first half of that scrimmage by a pretty good margin, lost the second half by a point, and that was playing without Dylan Graham, without Dorian Finney-Smith, who was held out precautionary. He's not. It's nothing serious with him, but he turned his ankle over last week, and they just didn't think he was ready to go. So with a depleted roster, they still did very, very well against Georgia Tech, and I understand that Scotty Wilbekin absolutely was an animal, which tells us that maybe this suspension is going to bring out the best in him once he's able to play starting in December. Excited to see some of the new players he talked about when he was here last week too at the tip-off club. So, and to see what they've got. So if they get enough game on Friday. Yes. All right, friends. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Thanks to all our guests, including Fans Beard, also Allison Campbell. I can't say her last name. I got baseball in my mind. Allison Baseball. Thanks to her. Thanks to JJ Tom and to Austin. I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great weekend. Have a great night.